Hello, and welcome to another episode of Rime of the Frostmaiden here on Dork Tales. I'm your Dungeonmaster Kelly, and tonight we are back on our normal night, which is fantastic. Welcome back. Why don't we go ahead and... Mike's just eating ice cream. Okay. You bring enough for the entire class?
No.
Okay. Well... That's okay. We'll just...
You tried.
I tried. I wanted some ice cream. I've got some in the fridge. All right.
I was going to say, you've got some in the freezer.
I do have some in the... Well, yeah, I guess
There's no vanilla left. There's just chocolate.
Did you finish that entire pint of vanilla?
Yeah. There was a brownie left over.
That's fair.
Of course I ate it.
There was a brownie left over. All right, so hey, welcome back. This is Rime of the Frostmaiden, episode 15, Skytower Shelter. Now, if this is your first episode with us, don't forget that you can go ahead and check most of our back episodes on our new podcast, which is through Spotify and a bunch of other podcast apps. iTunes is on the way, but they take forever. And you can also watch everything on youtube.com/dorktales. If this is your first time tuning in and you still want to keep watching, which, hey, you might as well, this is a game set in the frozen north of the Forgotten Realms, in a place called Icewind Dale. In Icewind Dale, things have gone a bit, I'd say south, but more like they've gone a bit north in the past couple of years, as the Frostmaiden, a god of cold, it's mostly cold, has plunged this region into just frozen nightmare wasteland, where it's incredibly difficult to leave, and slowly but surely supplies are running out and people are becoming more and more desperate. So it's northern Canada. There you go. And we have a couple of heroes that are coming to save the day, slowly but surely. Last episode, the characters traveled through most of Icewind Dale and into the spine of the world to a place called Wormdoom Crag, which I almost always pronounce wrong every time. Wormdoom Crag, where there is a tribe of goliaths, as well as a big old white dragon skeleton that they need to create a potion. While there, they learned that the Goliaths had a bit of a family feud with some neighboring Goliaths at a place called Skytower Shelter. And the party decided that they would try to negotiate a peace accord between these two tribes. A bunch of other stuff happened, but hey, you'll hear about that when you watch the episode. Oop. All right, and today I would also like to point out that we are using brand new visuals. Our graphic designer, Michael Eilot, put together this fantastic mashup of our Shards of Nirn frame as well as our Icewind Dale frame, and it looks great. If there are any technical difficulties, it's my fault, because I'm still adjusting it. His part was great.
It's my fault. It's always my fault, Kelly. Come on. We've already had technical difficulties that are my fault.
That's true. It is your fault. And all of the audio issues from last episode should be fixed.
Here's hoping.
Here's hoping. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and welcome the party. Hello, Hayden.
Hello, everybody. I don't know why I became fucking Bartok from Anastasia. It's like everybody fucking...
Everybody.
I don't...
Oh, it's very good.
That's such a good movie. Anyways, hi guys. My name is Hayden. I play Lysithian Callisto, the Moon Elf Wizard. And, yeah, we're here. We vibe and we gonna go get some Goliaths. We're gonna deal with that family feud. Yep.
All right. Hello, Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine, and I play Callie Thornhill, the halfling druid. And yes, we are going to go deal with some Goliaths.
Hello, Ice Cream Man.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mike. And
what kind of ice cream was it?
It was an Oreo McFlurry.
Oh,
right. You are forgiven.
Delicious.
You are forgiven. Not sponsored.
It was very good. Oh, that would be a great sponsor.
Wouldn't it be a great sponsorship? Except the ice cream machine would always be broken. Ice cream machine broke as this stream.
Pretty much. So, anyways, I'm Mike. I am playing our sassy human bard, Katarina Firestring. And I'm not joined by Vincent tonight either.
Because he keeps eating everything.
He keeps eating everything, so.
Yeah, and everything in the world.
Butt.
And all right, so that's the entire cast. Time to start the game.
We
So-
love you, Robin.
Bye.
Hello, Robin. Can you hear us from your land of Glitchville?
Oh, I can hear you guys fine now that just nothing's running on my computer.
All the
except
glitches in
Zoom.
Glitchville.
It's great. It's
So how's it going,
Eventually,
Robin?
one of these days. It's doing great now that I'm kind of sorted out. But hi guys, I'm Robin, and I am Mr. Donkill, your sissy, fiery barbarian man dwarf. That's what I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't have to say sassy. I think we're all sassy.
We're all pretty sassy, I guess.
Well, it's like we've got a sassy halfling, a sassy moon elf doppelganger thing going on there.
Would we say sassy? Are we
Would
sure
we say
would-
thing?
Sassy human, sassy dwarf.
Fucking rude. I'm quitting. I quit. Fuck you guys. You know what?
Hey,
Not
I
coming
was
back.
already forgotten. Or purposely left out one of the two.
I think salty is more
Salty.
descriptive of Lysander.
I'm salty now. Fuck
You know what?
guys.
Actually, it gives me an idea. If we ever have an episode where Lysithian can't make it, we should just get somebody with a really neutral voice to play doppelganger Lysithian.
I fucking dare you. I dare you to find someone as good.
We didn't say as good.
We didn't
said
say. Oh, well, hold on. Let's
Neutral.
see. Who could we get that's as good at playing? Oh, there's got to be someone from our group who can play like just a deadpan doppelganger. Oh,
I'm sure there's someone, or just like get like guest player kind of thing. Is like,
we
I
should-
don't know.
we could
Just-
see how Natasha
think
plays it
Camille.
and laugh.
Camille. Yeah, Camille.
Camille
Camille could
is the
probably do
only
it.
person I can think of who
If
could do
I'm
it.
gonna trust anyone with Lysithian, I would trust Camille.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll
So we'd
I'll
have to start a
consider
bit
that.
earlier for Camille.
That's true. Yeah, I'll just message Liam O'Brien and see what can happen. The episode you can't get here. I got Matt Mercer in the chair.
Hate you! I could never return as Lysithian. I would have to kill them off because if Matt played them,
All right.
there's
All right.
I
So I'm
would
in
die.
character.
Hey,
What's
I wouldn't be able to play. There
All
would
right.
be no Vistra, just be
I
Robin
know.
going,
It's like,
Dungeon Master? What's my motivation? How salty am I? Okay. Picture
What's
the ocean.
saltiest?
Saltier.
The
Picture.
Dead
it's the
Sea.
Dead Sea.
Have
Yeah.
you ever?
Dead
Okay, you know how you
Sea.
can float in the Dead Sea? Saltier. There's an asteroid made of salt, and it's colliding with this planet, and even that's not going to be salty enough.
yep. Sad but true. Oh, Lysithian, you're
Lysithian
a
is
butthole.
Salt Bay.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
So I should just
Lysithian
play
is-
Keyleth,
I
is
mean,
what you're saying.
Like Keyleth is a gem, and you respect her. She is a queen, literally.
Literally, yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
All right, all right. All
Keyleth
right.
deserves respect.
All right. Enough- all
Jester
right.
better.
So
You're assaulting us with a finger.
we're just gonna just everybody's hands on the screen. We'll just all right, all right, all right, all right. So if you're listening to this on podcast later, I'm sorry.
Have
All
fun.
right.
Oh, and Hayden just said that they love you.
Though by this point, I think they've gotten used to us if they're listening to it on podcast, because I would assume they started with episode at least 1, if not 0.
Yeah.
0.
If they're starting with episode 15, I would question what's wrong with them.
Or what's right with them. But
Hey.
don't scare them
Hey.
off. We need viewers. All right.
We
so-
love
What's
you.
right wing with them? Oh, Xeno.
Oh,
Hashtag generic.
Yeah, I think by
Hashtag
this
it's
point, they're
nerd.
not going to
It's
get
a
scared
nerd.
off. Because if they've lasted 15 episodes,
all right.
Yeah.
obviously we've done something right.
Okay.
Or something
so-
wrong.
Or
Some-
something
yeah.
very wrong.
Something tactfully
Well,
wrong.
then it would be more on their side of things, I think, to have done it wrong if they don't enjoy us and have lasted for
True.
15
They're just
episodes.
troll viewers.
Troll viewers.
Views are
It's like when you
views.
watch something ironically and then eventually you get sucked in. You're like, damn it. What
Any
am I
reality
doing?
TV
What do I-
show.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was me with Hell's
Why do
Kitchen.
I-
I was like, oh, this is going to be... and then I'm just like, this is the best show. I'm going to buy all the box sets. Boom.
That's me with Kitchen Nightmares. That show
Yeah.
just makes
Did
me
you ever watch
upset.
Hotel Hell?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it, but I keep watching it.
I can't... I used to do hotel work. I can't not watch it. And I'm just like...
Dude, I've done so much restaurant work that I'm like,
Mhm.
I have to watch this. I have to watch Kitchen Nightmares.
After the first couple episodes that Kelly made me watch, I kind of put my foot down. I'm like, nope, this ain't for me. Nope, walking away.
Yeah, because you can't handle that.
I
Because
can't handle that level of aggro.
All right, guys. So guess what? It's time to play a role-playing game. Are you ready for Rime of the Frostmaiden?
Yeah.
It's time to rhyme on Rime of the Frostmaiden. Okay.
Rhyme time.
Everybody stretch yourselves. Everybody put your earphones in because they slowly work their ways out. And let's go. Anybody who wants to roll 20 is up for you.
Oh, that's probably a good thing.
Probably
I'm
helps.
gonna have no. You're gonna have to sing to me, Kelly. Tell me what's going on for ambiance because I just can't hear anything today.
I mean, I
It's just-
always
Why
make
would Kelly sing to you? Mike should sing to you because
Okay,
he's
Mike.
really
Yeah, sing to me,
annoying.
Mike.
Hashtag just barred things.
Katarina doesn't sing on stream. She only inspires people using speeches on
Windows
stream.
Defender. What?
Dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun,
I'll
dun.
obviously allow access to fucking roll 20, dude. What is wrong with you?
What is wrong with you?
Windows defending me from my sound
Stupid.
effects right here.
How dare it?
Okay, hold on. Audio issues should stop working. Should start working.
Hey, I've got volume in roll 20 now.
Cool.
That's nice. What does it sound like? Does it sound great? Describe it.
It sounds like when. Shut up, Robin.
I
And
have
somebody
got
walking
on in
through
my
snow.
headphones, so
All
With
right.
some wind chimes.
Some wind chimes. All right, let's actually focus down, guys.
Okay, let's do it.
You have a pleasant rest. The sleep is comfortable, even on the base of the cave floor, wrapped in furs and your sleeping bags. The next morning, you awaken into the dimness of the cave. Most of you are able to see in the dark, but actually, 2 of you are able to see in the dark, so half of you awaken to the sight of Goliaths moving in the early morning. Early morning chores, preparing food, roasting meat. After a few moments, a large shape, Oya, the leader of the settlement, leans into the common room that you're sleeping in. You are awake. Good. If you wish to cross the mountains, now is the time.
all right.
Sounds good.
I don't think
it.
we have any opposition. During the previous night, Kelly,
Mhm.
because there was that young Goliath girl. I don't have my other notebook. I'm using a different one.
Yes, you're talking about, of course,
about,
Nalane Brighthand.
Yeah, Nilane. I wanted to have because she was able to speak Dwarvish. She said, "Yeah." That was at least
I
what
don't
was
think
said to
I
me.
don't think I did, but
Okay.
she can. Yes.
She can.
I
Okay.
think you did.
Yeah, you
I think that
did.
was said.
Okay, glad I'm not crazy. But you said Dwarvish. You might have meant giantish, but
Okay.
I don't fucking know. Well, Dwarvish was said
I
to
might
me,
have-
and then I looked on my.
I might have said common, but who knows? Dwarvish is fine.
Dwarvish is fine.
Do you speak
Well,
Dwarvish?
I do.
Then it doesn't matter that she speaks Dwarvish now.
Okay.
I'll
cool.
even put that in my notes. Speaks Dwarvish.
Just I have a hair stuck in my eyelash. Anyways, I was going to say, since she wasn't super familiar, like with the way the spells were written, I was going to translate the instructions for the spells that I was going to teach her into Dwarvish so that she could read them.
She reads Dwarven alphabet because that's what Giant
Yes.
uses. That's what it was.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
But she can speak Dwarvish too.
Okay, I would have translated some level 1 spells for her and like some cantrips, like instructions on them.
Mm-hmm.
I would have like spent the night with her, like translating them and giving that to her as like a little kind of like a little booklet
Aw.
so that she could practice.
That's really sweet.
That's what I wanted to do.
Okay, and you'll still have enough time to rest after that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do you want to give her that in the morning, or do you want to do it? Early?
Yeah, give that to her like in the morning before we peace out.
Okay. So as you awaken and grab your things and set about on your day, Vistra, you are going to notice that something is missing from your supplies. Your axe.
What? My big one?
Your big one.
What? Vistras. Is Oya still in the room? with us?
Yes, she's just you're in the common room, so a lot of Goliaths
Okay.
are moving around you there.
Vistra's gonna look very panicked all of a sudden. Like, you know when you feel like you lose your car keys? Vistra's basically doing that right now.
You're
Around
patting
the
your
area.
pockets for your giant axe.
Exactly. You know, it gets lost in there sometimes. And she's gonna start swearing in Dwarvish, just being like, "What the fuck? Where is my X?" And then she's gonna turn to Oya and be like, "Was anyone else? Did you notice anyone carrying my X about? It seems to be missing, and I went to bed with it. It's always with me, and it's not here now. What happened?"
Your axe. Yes. I remember that one of the Braves took it.
Why?
Well, you can ask him. He's having breakfast right now.
All right. Point me in the general direction of where he is. I'm never.
Just there on the left, into the fire pit. She gestures into the back chamber of the cave.
Vistra strides up. It's like, "Excuse me.
Ah, you're awake. Good.
Do you have some?"
I do, yes. Here. And as you approach, you walk into the main area with the long fire pit where you can smell roasting meat of mountain goat set across these hot coals in this entrenched fire pit. Long shoots of pine wood holding the meat steady as it roasts. Fir nettles being used for spicing, and pine needles used as almost kind of a salad mixture on the side with whatever mountain herbs could be collected. You can smell just the barest bit of root vegetable roasting in some of the coals. And this Goliath is sitting there with a large bundle on his lap, and as you're approaching even, you can hear the sound of scratching, just coming from his lap as he works a stone over a bit of metal. Here. And he will reach underneath the little table he is sitting at and hold up your axe's handle. It is bereft of the blade atop of it, in case you would have wanted it back for something else. I'm not quite done, but in the next minute or two, it should be good enough if you don't mind honing the edge yourself. Probably good enough now. And he will reach under the bundle and hand you your axe back. The axe head has been separated from the haft. Now you can see that it rests embedded in a length of intricately carved scrimshaw, wrapped with leather. As you pick it up, it's heavier than it once was. This bone is incredibly dense. It is what you asked for. Bones from the white dragon.
Oh, sweet is. That's awesome. I'm sorry I came in here with a bit of a temper. I just get so possessive of my ex, and when I misplace it, which never happens, I get quite worried. But oh my
Yes,
goodness,
it was not
this
easy
is...
prying it from you while you slept.
Yeah, I kind of hug it a little bit. It's a bit of like a safety blanket, but it's a safety X.
That does not make sense to me, but
Yeah, it's a small humanoid kind of thing.
I see.
It makes me feel safe.
There we go. Sorry guys, I had to switch back over to a different program because Firefox decided it would not run, so I'm back on Chrome. Yay.
Yay!
Okay. There we go.
It is awesome.
Well, I hope you enjoy.
Oh, Will, this is cool. Dragon Bone X. Oh,
Now sit and eat meat.
yeah.
Meanwhile, across the cave, Lysithian, you gather up your things, and where are you headed first? To grab some food? There might be some vegetarian options in there. You can smell roasted root vegetable, probably a potato, or maybe some yams, something with a bit of a scent to it that is less red.
Probably go to the common area and try to find some food. And if I see the young Goliath girl, I would like to give her the booklet that I made her.
As you enter, you can see that she is there, actually, just inside of the main door. She's sitting by herself, kind of curled up under a blanket, sitting atop a white goat pelt, her knees pulled up to her chest, sitting away from the rest of the group with a look of wariness on her face. She's nervous. She appears that sort. But as you enter, there's no mistaking it, even with Lysithian's social skills. Her eyes widen, and she seems eager, if not more at ease, excitable. She will quickly jerk to her feet, snapping to attention, casting her blanket down onto the ground as she stands to her full height, towering over you by a full head, even at her youthful age. Hello. It is good morning.
Good morning. Do you mind if I join you?
Me? Yes, you
Yeah.
can sit with me.
Good. That's what I wanted.
Food. Would you like some food? I can fetch you.
Sure. Anything that's not meat, like root vegetable, anything of the sort.
Yam and beet.
Yam and beet sounds good to me.
She will scurry over and quickly acquire a wooden bowl and stuff it full of different types of root vegetable, pine nettles, and other seasonings, and bring it back to you, handing out a bone spoon to you. Here.
Perfect. Thank you. And I'll just go back to where she was sitting, just sit down next to her blanket. Come on. I have something for you.
She will sit down. Yes?
I'll go into my bag and I'll pull out just kind of like a small booklet, like very, very thin, like kind of beginner spell book almost. It's not much, but I did, you mentioned that you could read Dwarvish. So what I did is I translated a bunch of spells into Dwarvish for you so that you can take the time to learn them.
Really?
Of course.
No, that is...
I know how important it is.
That is too kind.
It is already done, so this is for you. I already have these spells written down, so what am I gonna do with them? Just holding out the booklet to her, just for her to take it.
She will take it. Her long, pale fingers wrapping around its cover with just... It's just pages by themselves, right? Or is
yeah,
it
it's just like separate pages, but just like kind of in a stack because I don't really have anything.
Then she will
so...
wrap her fingers gently around the stack and leaf through them. This is most generous.
You're welcome. I remember when I got my first list of spells. I was about to say your age, but I have no idea. But I was rather young, and someone trusted me enough to teach me magic and let me learn, and I thought that I could pass that on to you as well. These were the same spells that I learned when I was young.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
14. I'm 14.
I am over 200.
You have wrestled death well.
Sometimes I have party members who keep me on my feet.
There's nothing weak about depending on the strength of your allies.
That's true. That is very true. And I can do this. And I'll snap my fingers and let like some sparks kind of fly off.
A couple of the other Goliaths in the cave will like stop talking and just kind of stare at that corner.
I get the feeling your family isn't big on magic stuff.
There aren't many magic people here.
Well, be the first magic Goliath.
Yes.
Who knows, maybe they will be telling stories about you.
I will honor this, Master Lysithian.
You do not have to call me master. I'm nobody's
Teacher?
teacher is fine. I would be happy to teach you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I know how much magic can mean to someone, so. And how finding what makes you you helps you kind of find your way in the world. And you may not be a wrestler like the rest of your family, but I'm sure you could. You can take them out with in more ways than one. You saw my friend yesterday, yes?
Yes. The short one turned into a bear?
Yes, she is small but mighty.
She was large and mighty.
She becomes large and mighty.
I will be in your debt for much time, teacher.
Well, if you ever find your way to Bremen in particular, then ask around for me. That's usually where I stay when we're not roaming around, hanging out with people like you and all kinds, running from white dragons and all sorts.
I will.
All right. Keep in touch.
Safe journey.
Be careful, and the light spell is my favorite. Or, if you're feeling mischievous, the illusion spell is always good fun.
Oh. I'll have to take a look.
It's not hard to learn. It's one of the simpler ones.
I'll try to see if I have it mastered by the time you return.
I expect to see that.
Meanwhile, across the cave. Callie and Katarina, what are you doing? Just enjoying breakfast at this point?
Yeah,
so I'm just
basically.
kind of chatting
Yeah.
with everybody about kind of like any little details that I might be able to pull out through casual conversation sort of thing.
Sure. So there is a tremendous boom next to you as Grugheim, the wrestling Goliath from the night before, flops down next to you and crosses his legs. Good. Good. You are making your way to Skytower today. Do you need someone to tell you how to get there? Do you need a guide?
Guide would always be appreciated. Somebody who knows the area.
They will not
Yeah,
let
I
me
mean-
inside, but I could take you part way.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to a guide.
I am a good
It'd be nice
tracker
to have
and
somebody who
hunter.
actually knows the area for once.
These mountains are treacherous. At times you can even see things like mammoths or frost giant riders. And then there, of course, is the werebear.
Oh, that's fine. I'm sure we'll have no problem with that.
Fine. Perhaps you have not heard the story of the werebear. Mighty.
Oh, I've encountered those sort of things before.
I mean, werebears
That's
are
no big.
generally pretty good.
Perhaps you have not been torn apart by one.
No, most of the ones I've met have been like quite nice.
Yeah, basically as
most
long
of
as
the
you
ones
Very friendly.
that you have
Yeah.
met? How many of these have you met?
don't... A few?
Well, there was the one down over there. She's gonna dance. She's not gonna say anything about the one that they did meet,
Okay.
but she's gonna pretend that she's met several like around the different corners of Icewind Dale. Well,
Okay.
and then there was that talking polar bear. It's not a werebear, but it's a talking polar bear. I don't know. Does that count?
No, she wasn't a werebear.
That's true. But there is that werebear over there
Yeah, that's there.
in that corner. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she was
We've
quite
met at
nice.
least a couple werebears. They're actually very hospitable as long as you don't try to kill them at first.
This is true.
I understand now. You tell a joke. Good. You're very funny. You and your small person jokes. Small person humor is very strange.
Huh.
Perhaps you should finish your food, and then we can head out.
Yes.
You do not want the light to fail you.
This is true.
Yeah.
Do you see well in the darkness?
No.
No.
Nor I.
I used to, but not anymore.
Strange. Finish your
Yeah.
meal?
Mm-hmm.
Then let us go. And he will stand up, gather his things from the corner, which you see is a long, jagged spear made of whalebone. Is your elf ready?
Lysithian,
Yeah.
you ready? We got
Yeah,
a
I'm ready
guide.
to go. All right, let's go. No, I'll stand up and just kind of brush off my robes.
Okay. With that, it's out onto the trail with you. The mountains are brisk, as it always is in Icewind Dale. But a quick check of the sky, and Grogheim looks over. We should be fine. The blizzard will not come for until dark. So long as you do not dally too much, should be good. We can make it across probably 4 hours, if we hurry. Stay sure-footed. Think like a mountain goat.
Like a mountain goat, okay.
Callie just kind of contemplates, should I become a mountain goat?
Maybe save that for bigger things.
That's true.
And with that, Grug will begin to lead you across the mountain. Let me just check his survival score real quick. 1 sec. Boom. Okay, let's roll this. Cool. All right, so he leads you across the mountains. Your dogs have to be left behind. The mountain terrain is no place for dogs or for axe beaks. But
Babies.
no, they'll take care of your dogs. They're not going to roast them. They like dogs. They like dogs. They don't like dogs. So, you make your way across the mountains, trudging through the blistering cold that breezes up at you. From up here, you can see the world below. In fact, from this vantage point, high up in the spine of the world, you think that you can almost see, just in the distance, a couple of dark shapes. There, to the west, you think that maybe, just maybe, you can see the edge of Loch Dinneshere. And there is Kelvin's Cairn, jutting out of the ground, hundreds of feet high, an easy landmark. Some of the shapes next to it must be the 10 towns. You can barely see around an immense mountainside directly before you, but no, you can make out that. What you also will see is a bit of a dark shape to the north, slightly northwest of you. Could I get a perception roll if anybody's paying really close attention? If not, don't worry about it.
Also, I'm assuming that we let Vistra know we were going.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
14?
14?
Nat 20.
14.
16.
20, 16, 14, and what was yours, Hayden?
27 total.
14.
14? So, Callie, you're going to be the only one that's really going to be able to see this. You will see that just to the north, probably about 15 miles, there's a large black shape sticking out of the ground. It's
Weird.
It is kind of weird. It looks like a structure made out of black stone. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. You'd say it's probably about, let's say it's 3 miles, probably about 15 miles from Caer Konig. Probably about 20 miles to the east of Kelvin's Cairn. It's not very large, maybe the size of a 2 or 3 story house, but it's the blackness of it and the lack of snow surrounding it that draws your attention. The rest of you might be able to notice that there's a dark shape out there. Unless, of course, Vistra, you use your eagle eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, don't forget you have those.
I forget. I do. What do your eagle eyes see? They're just kind of always on.
Are they always on? So how does that work? Does
Yeah.
it mean you have advantage on perception?
It just says you can see clearly up to a mile,
Okay, so
as
this,
if it was like 100 feet away. So basically, I have like supervision.
then what I will say is that this is well over a mile, but you'll be able to probably make this out with the same detail that Callie is.
Okay, I was just I kind of was remembering that I have the eagle eyes. I'm like, I don't know how that actually works. It just says I can see for a mile, but it's always snowy
Read
here,
your
so it
stats.
doesn't help. It doesn't help in the snow.
Depends. Still
How
can
blizzard.
help.
If it's a blizzard, I probably can't see a mile. But,
Yeah.
you know.
It's an irregularly shaped spur of black rock that looks... it's out of place. This doesn't look like a natural formation.
You see that?
Yeah.
I wonder what that is.
It looks blank. Like, I think it's like something from like Chaldalian. That weird stuff.
Where are you looking? Grug will
That
say...
thing down there. The black spot.
There are many old structures in Icewind Dale.
This is true.
Perhaps there's treasure there that you can plunder.
Ooh.
You adventurers
make
have a
a note
lust
of
for the
that.
stuff.
Perhaps on the way back.
Yeah. Just make a mental note.
I have a loss for many things, but I don't know if treasure's one of them. Paying for room and board, yeah, but treasure, could take it or leave it.
I like treasure because it means that I can buy more spell books.
I like treasure because I like shiny things.
You do. You are
do.
very shiny.
I like treasure for the most treasury reason. It's pretty.
It's what we love about you.
I like it because you can buy food with it.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Food
true.
is good.
Is the best.
All right. But now that you're done talking about treasure, perhaps we should walk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Grug takes you across the mountain terrain. It's quite the slog. I'd like all of you just to make me a quick constitution roll.
Oh ho ho! That's going to
15.
be plus
15?
Ooh, 9.
22.
22? 9? Okay.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. And Callie?
30-20.
Dirty 20. All right, so all of you, Vistra, by the end of this, your legs are not designed for mountain climbing like this. Yes, through the mountains, yes, across hilly and rocky terrain, but not with this much snow. This adds an unfair advantage to legs that are naturally designed for sprinting.
Exactly, dwarfs are natural sprinters.
No, dwarves are natural sprinters, and you are going to end this walk with a level of exhaustion.
Oh, again? Oh,
no!
damn.
So that will go away after a short rest.
Okay.
So you just need to catch your breath. So that's just how you're going into the next scene. Now,
We dwarves are natural sprinters. I can't do my best like Scottish accent when I'm doing it.
that's fair.
It doesn't
All right.
work. Doesn't work.
Okay. And soon you will find yourselves traversing the mountainside. Very soon you will be... Bless you. You will find yourself going around the northwest face of a 15,000-foot high mountain. The causeway here is carved into the rock face enough that you could take a cart along here, or 2 Goliaths abreast. Grug will walk you to the point where you can see that there's a barricade up ahead, about 200 feet in the distance. This is where I leave you. The best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Be safe
Yep.
getting back.
You will be able to make it back yourself?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
should be no
Think so?
problem.
Good. I will time myself. It is 1 hour until night. See if on the way back any of you can match that. And he will
Alright.
turn and begin jogging off across the stone and snow. Cool. Vistra, you have had a
We
point
have
of
to beat them.
inspiration purchased for you.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
What was his time?
An hour.
An hour?
And it took you 3.5 hours to get here.
Jesus.
Makes sense with my stride. Little dwarf legs going. Do.
Okay.
And B shape doesn't count for the race.
That wasn't said beforehand, unfortunately.
He didn't specify.
Okay,
Yeah,
Kelly,
but
I
it's
will
not
jump
fair
on
to
your
the
back.
rest of us,
Let's
though.
go.
We can't compete with you if you have 4 legs.
Well,
You
you're
will
not
hear a
competing with me.
shriek
We as a
echo
group are
across this
competing.
valley.
Uh-oh.
That's lovely.
Great.
Hayden, are you speaking right now?
Yeah?
Oh, okay. I thought you're a little dark right now. I thought your mouth was moving, and I was like, is your mic working? Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I don't have my studio lighting.
Well, I could loan you some.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm only gonna be on the island for another week, so.
Okay.
Sure.
A shriek echoes overhead. The sound of a large, eagle-throated creature. Glancing up, you can see that 6 griffins circle above you, announcing your approach. They're only a few hundred feet away,
Well, handy. They have a doorbell.
but they come no closer than that. Do you continue up the causeway?
Yes.
At the end of the entranceway is a 10-foot tall barricade made of wood and stone, set with a crude gate made of thick lumber and festooned with metal blades. Gaps in the gate allow you to see an unusually tall figure in hide armor, standing 10 feet behind it and clutching a great axe. Beyond this figure is a higher ledge with 5 equally towering figures atop of it. As you approach, the figure moves forward, steps
Hello.
onto a platform, and leans over the edge. Turn back. You are not welcome here.
He's saying that in common.
He is saying that in common.
Okay.
Lysithian, yes.
I was just going to raise my hands in sort of a placating gesture. We are just here to talk. We come with no threat.
For small things, pose no threat.
That is fair.
Speak your words at a distance, lest you feed the griffins.
I'm gonna look at Callie or Katarina like someone who's better at this.
I'd like to see them try to fight me to under
Vistra.
her breath.
Vistra.
Stop talking among yourselves and speak your names.
Katarina Firestring.
Lysithian Callisto.
Mr. Donko?
Callie will pop her head out from kind of behind Katarina.
Callie Thornhill.
We're the adventuring group Caveat
Callie.
Yeah. Hello.
What are you doing here?
I'm adventurer now.
And you have come all the way to... Why did you not just announce your... You should have announced yourself when you approached. I could have sicked the griffins on you.
Well, they would have gotten one hell of a surprise.
He will turn back to his men. Do any of you speak giant? Remind me again.
No.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, I figured maybe I should have a smattering.
You have a smattering.
But-
You get the word friend, so he will turn back and say, blah, blah, friend, blah, blah. And will lean forward, and you will hear the sound of an immense weight being shifted, as a 500-pound wooden bar is pushed away from the gate. A moment later, the door will creak open. The gate passes, and an immense goliath, with a strong, handsome jaw, hair that is, well, I guess it's just a bald scalp, to be honest, but with an intricate tribal pattern burned into it, and blazing blue eyes, will step from behind there, dressed in his hide armor. I'm Arn Rockfist Akhenathi.
Hey, Arn. So, as you just heard, that one's Lysithian, that one's Vistra, and that one's Katarina. We've been traveling, what is it, a few months now?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
We've done so many cool things.
And Kelly will start walking forward and be like, start talking his ear off.
Yes, are you in some kind of trouble, little tulip?
No. But we were coming to find the white dragon skeleton that they have at the other place, and they mentioned they were having some problems.
There are no problems here.
So I thought I'd come and get your side.
My side?
Well, what's her name? Yeah. So
Ogalai.
there's that story about playing goat ball and the griffins.
I just realized that I accidentally called her Oya at the beginning of the day, which was the name of the were-goliath, so oops.
Oh.
So there was Ogalai
Yeah.
the entire time. Sorry about that. Fix it in post. I'm not going to fix it in post. I see. What is the story that they tell?
Well, something about falling off and getting mauled by griffins.
It was her own fault. Look, many summers ago, the children of Skytower challenged the children of Wormdoom to a game of goat ball. One of the children, angered at being knocked off her perch, threw the ball at one of our griffins. It struck it on the head. It returned the dishonor and wounded her in return. The game was called off, and days later, hunters from Wormdoom climbed our mountains and slew the griffin on its nest. It was a grave insult, and we have been at war ever since.
Is it really worth? How many men have you lost and women have you lost since this war has started?
We have lost some.
Also, can you imagine combined Goliaths taking down something huge? The epicness. But enough of that. Let's go inside.
I'm
It's
also
cold
just
out
wondering
here.
why you would let so many lives be lost for obvious misunderstanding / you couldn't have.
I
talked
would not
about.
expect a dwarf to understand civilized debate.
Callie's gonna like tug on his elbow again. And be like,
Now, don't get that way. So, how have you been? It's been a while.
It has been several seasons, yes.
Yeah.
I am well.
Anything new?
You are travelers here. You have come many miles to reach Skytower Shelter.
Mm-hmm.
Come inside and gain refreshment. Even the mouthy dwarf.
Fair warning, they're all mouthy. I'm traveling with them, remember?
You would do well to keep your mouth shut here. In Skytower, if you open your mouth improperly, someone will shut it for you.
I'd like to see them try.
Katarina's gonna elbow Vistra.
Thank you. Good. Probably good.
Vistra, that's challenge talk. Don't do it. To be fair, she got lucky last time and didn't pin somebody. But,
Lucky? I was skilled.
Vistra,
It's the luck.
Follow me. He leads you back into the cavern system behind this front entrance. The 5 stoic Goliaths standing behind him stare down at you impassively as you approach. You notice that a large empty nest occupies one corner of their ledge, and two rough-hewn tunnels at the back of the ledge lead deeper into the mountain. He takes you down the center one. And soon, you will find yourselves heading down a passageway to the right and up into a common area. As you approach, you find yourself in a room with 9 feasting Goliath warriors. A long rectangular fire pit, not unlike the one in the common room over at Wormdoom, heats this 15-foot high cave and fills the area with a scent of meat cooking on a grate over the pit. The sound of cheering fills the air as two Goliaths stand near the southern wall with their arms extended out from their sides, each holding a large rock in each hand. Their arm muscles quiver, looking like they're trying to smuggle lengths of ham under their flesh. Their jaws are clenched, and you can see sweat beading on their brows from the exertion. 7 more Goliaths stand around them, cheering and waving haunches of cooked meat. Looks like some type of contest. As you approach, the Goliaths stop cheering, and the 2 Goliaths let their rocks tumble to the floor. All 9 Goliaths glare at you, and then flick their eyes up at Arn. It is fine. Prepare meat. Adventurers were brave enough to traipse the valley and to climb Skytower. Fine. We will get you food. They begin to rack up more meat onto the grill. Sit. He gestures by the fire. A few minutes later, the meat is cooked accordingly, and you are poured each a glass of stout red wine into a cup made of hewn wood. So you come all this way to negotiate and be diplomatic?
Yes.
Well, I mean, to a certain extent of diplomatic.
Elf, what do you say?
I say that I think the fighting between the 2 tribes is absolutely pointless, if I'm going to be blunt.
Yes.
I
they will.
appreciate your bluntness. You think
Honestly, no, go ahead.
you think it is pointless? What would you do?
I think that talks between the 2 tribes that do not involve fighting, I know that is different culture. I come from elven ways of dealing with these things, but I think the elven way may be your best bet to stop this fighting. I think a war between the 2 tribes, eventually you will just wipe each other out.
And what would the elven way be?
The elven way would be bring to the table what you wish to speak about. For you, your griffins were hurt, and that was a great slight on your tribe, right? And they have killed people, they have killed yours, and for them, one of their own was hurt. Perhaps, I do not know if Ogolai, thank you.
No worries. Too many O names in one game.
I know. Oh man. I do not know if Ogolai fully remembers as she was a child. I do not know if she fully remembers having thrown the ball or if she just remembers the mauling. Sometimes our minds block out certain things. So.
Basically, it sounds like both sides want an apology.
Essentially, that's what I'm saying, is both sides need an apology and you need to come to an
However,
agreement.
What happens is you both apologize, and then you have another contest.
Somehow I feel maybe
No.
leave the...
Contest is their way of doing things.
No. I was going to say, contest is fine.
Just-
Maybe leave the griffins out of
Yeah.
it, so then that
Yeah.
doesn't
No
lead to the
griffins.
same thing over again. No griffins. Just have another
Just
game
goat
of
ball.
goat ball. Just goat ball.
Football's fun. I won the last one. Well, technically it was a draw, but I dunked him, so I think I won.
The Goliaths in this cave, who have been eyeing you suspiciously from their side of the table, will all burst into raucous laughter at that point.
Callie's gonna give them one hell of a glare.
Bet it
We,
up.
we actually did very good.
Oh, we're sure you did very good against Worm Doom. Of course they would lose to a bunch of non-Goliaths. They're so tiny. Of course. Maybe we should send our children after them next.
I'm gonna snap my fingers and let just sparks of fire just flicker off.
Callie does not look happy in the slightest.
Vistra's
Perhaps
like
it is this-
quiet rage. Vistra just can't say anything right now. She's just like, I'm trying to not. get
What, you think-
Perhaps it
opinion,
is
but-
this kind of attitude that started things in the first place. So I recommend that if you wish to stop this war, you come in with less higher than thou attitudes.
If we were not higher than them, that would be easy. Unfortunately, it is not what we are. I will meet with Ogilai on one condition.
And that would be?
Ogilai has a magic cloak that she wraps herself in. Bring it to me. As a gift.
And what does this magic cloak do exactly?
I don't know, I'm going to use it to wipe my ass.
Mm.
Perhaps
See,
it
it
will
does
get
that
it
kind of
shiny and
disres-
smooth. Who cares? It will
does
be
that kind
my
of
cloak after
disrespect-
that.
It is not going to be your cloak.
Then I suppose we do not have a meeting. Out of my friendship with Callie, you can stay and sleep here until the morning.
What do you wish to hear from these people? From Wormdoom? What is it that you guys need to hear
What do
in
they
order
need
to
hear?
stop this? What
In
do you
order to
need
stop
from them
this?
outside of a cloak?
They can submit to us. Become a tribe under our tribe. We are the
Why can't you
rightful...
be two different tribes living peacefully?
Because they are dishonorable.
How
Because
so?
they care not for the sacred relationship between we and our griffins. You cannot understand. You have not raised a chick. You have not seen it take its first flight. You have not seen it kill and fight alongside of you, only to be put down like a feral dog. It's the greatest disrespect, like slaying one's child. They did so over a game and some scars that healed. You cannot replace a stolen life.
I understand that. Have you ever actually tried to explain this to them? Have you ever tried to describe what it is your relationship is with your griffins, or have you just come in with anger?
My elders did what they had to do.
That tells me nothing. What did they do? What did they think they had to do?
I'm afraid I was not born at that point, but I trust them to have expressed themselves correctly.
With
What would you
fists, I
do?
assume.
What would you do if someone stalked into your house and slew your pet, your children, your mate? What would you do if someone snuck through your fields like a thief in the night? What would you do if... And as he's starting to get more and more heated, you will hear a low voice echo from the cave behind. It's a woman's voice. On. You have gotten too loud. You have woken me. the strangers. They do not enjoy your pitch, I think. Yes, mother.
Listen, Arn. I would not take kindly to it either. Listen, I did not know that they snuck through and did all these things.
No,
Let's
you
not
could
know
not
that.
have known. And I should
Of
not
course
have
they
lost
would
my
not have
temper.
told me. All is forgiven. What I am saying is, expressing these things with words instead of fists could be beneficial to both of you. I know that is not how you normally do things, but I'm just saying it is something you could try. Because there will be more and more bloodshed.
I do not know if we could trust our backs to those who have acted so dishonorably.
Well, trust us to watch your backs, and we will watch theirs. We will mediate. What does that sound like to you?
How long ago did this happen?
I'd say about 50 years is what it sounded like from the earlier story. In my father's generation.
So, seeing that it did happen so long ago, don't you think that it maybe is time to talk to each other?
From what it sounded like over on the other side, they only know what Ogilai has said as a child. She's the only one who was there that's still alive. So, I mean, who can say what the elders did? Maybe both sides were being a little bit butts.
Confrontational?
Who's to say that either of you have the entire story?
That's true. I've heard two very different stories so far.
Mm-hmm.
In your tribe, who is there anyone still around who was here during that time? Your mother, I presume?
Mother-in-law, yes.
And is she the only member of your tribe from then?
She is the eldest, yes.
Wait, you got married? Who to?
I'm sorry, you were not informed. Yes, I was married last summer.
Oh, congratulations.
Callie's basically like jittering in place now. She's like, this is so exciting.
It was to, Herod. Good to have you here. We have guests, he says. Looking behind, you see another Goliath enter this room. This Goliath is about equally large, a bit broader at the shoulder, and a tiny bit thicker through the face and throat. A slightly more craggy face with a little bit of wizening around the eyes. Almost looks like smile lines and crow's feet. He looks around the room. You have woken Mother. Perhaps you should not have done so. You know she is most cranky these days. Yes, I do. This is adventurous. I can see that. They are very small. Easy to hear as they walk through the halls. Yes, they are. This is...
There's no need to be insulting.
This is Callie Thornhill.
Hello, I hear you married him. That is very exciting. Congratulations.
Yes, and I hear you bedded him before I married him.
Well, yes, but...
Hold it.
Eh,
You are even smaller than he said.
I can get big, though. Not that we did that. Meh.
I heard you did many things. Yes,
That
there
is
were
true.
many.
That is true.
The meat is ready.
She's gonna lean over to look at him and just kind of like, are you blushing?
Goliath.
I didn't know you could do that.
We do not blush. We merely darken with anger. I am.
Uh-huh.
My blood is. I require
Oh, you're
sustenance.
good.
I require.
I'm good. Basically, Callie turns to his husband and be like, "You're good."
You don't know the half of it. Herod says. Ugh. And he will sit down next to you. What brings you here?
The whole thing with the other tribe. We ran into them because of white dragon bones, which we're getting some of so we can make a potion. And we heard the story, and well, of course, I knew the names. So I was very curious.
You are magic users, yes?
I'm a druid.
Yeah.
Yes, I have heard about your magic touch.
I play music.
Do you?
I do spells.
And what do you
Yeah.
do? Herod looks over across at Vistra. You hit things with an axe?
That's pretty
Basically.
correct. She's good at it.
Respectable. Good. I also hit things with an axe.
Okay, good. I've been just.
There's-
Everyone assumes that it's not a good job, but it's our real satisfaction hitting things with an axe and
What kind of
wrestling and
idiot
all
thinks
that
that hitting something with an axe is not good? It is
Oh,
the
I'm not
simplest
good at it.
solution.
I've met lots of people.
This is why we stay in the
They're
mountains
like,
away
oh,
from
you're
idiots.
dumb. You hit things with an axe. Yeah.
Yes, well, an axe solves most
Sure.
problems with one blow.
It
Fight
does,
things.
doesn't it?
It does. But there is one thing here that an axe cannot solve.
A broken heart.
I mean, that's true too.
I've
Though,
seen an axe
depends
cause
on why
broken.
it's been broken.
It causes a lot of broken hearts. I know.
Well,
I'm going out to check
Somebody
the
cheats on
griffins. I will
somebody.
return. Arn
you
storms
can
out of
definitely
the room.
solve that with an axe.
I think you've made him insecure, Herod says to you.
Whoops. Sorry.
It is fine. He is cute when he is angry.
This is true.
I hate to watch him go, but walking away is most pleasant.
I know, right?
It comes from his rock lifting. Many,
Yeah,
many squats.
He's still doing that, huh?
Of course. How else can he please me?
This is true. He should do more.
He does enough. I ask a favor. If you are magic, that means that some of you can heal, either through song or through druid touch.
Yes.
What do you need healed?
Come with me.
Callie's gonna just kind of like
And
skip along.
Katarina's gonna follow along right beside them too.
Cool. All of you are welcome to follow along with him if you'd like. The rest of you can just stay and be glared at in the fire pit if you'd like. That's also an option. So, Vistra, are you going to go or are you going to get glared at in the fire pit?
I mean, she's tempted to get glared at, but she'll probably follow her party.
Okay.
She's just getting in a she's sit down and shut up mood, so she's kind of just like stewing a little bit in her own
Aw.
Okay.
We'll
rage.
let you hit something soon.
I'm just gonna open my window real quick.
I'm more than
Sure.
just hitting, guys. I'm a dwarf.
You like doing it though.
I
so
do.
that's why I'm saying
People
we'll find
say it
something
and
for you to
talk
really
down
hit
to
hard
me,
because you
not just
like
'cause
it.
Not just because I'm small, but people talk down to me. They think I'm dumb. I'm not dumb. I'm just more inclined to fighting techniques versus
Yeah.
music.
All right.
We all
You-
solve things in our own way.
I get it too because I'm short.
Yeah.
You round the
They're all
corner.
stupid about it until I beat
Also,
their asses.
how does that work? I applaud you.
Not that hard.
Well,
Are you sure about that?
are you sure?
We are about to be in the same room as my mother. He
Fair.
says, and it is plenty hard when it needs to be. Come. And he will round the corner, and I'm sorry, he's way more interesting in my game than he is on this page.
I am glad.
The whole time, Lysithian, like hearing all this, they're just reading their spell books. Like, I don't care.
You find yourself in a 12-foot high cave with a crackling fire at its center and walls lined with hunting trophies, including the skulls and pelts of various mountain-dwelling creatures. Seated by the fire is a wizened Goliath with long white hair. A Yeti fur cloak is draped over her stooped shoulders, and a tiger-sized feline with white fur that you recognize as a Craig cat crouches behind her, kind of curled up against her butt. The cat looks up and kind of... Shh, enough of that, she says, patting its head and petting it. Obviously a pet. This is my mother. Yes, I
Pleased
am
to meet
his
you.
mother. And that is how
Wow.
you introduce me, as mother? I have a name. Kaniaka. It is pleasant to meet you. I apologize for my son-in-law's loud nature.
We're used to it.
As she says this, her gaze kind of flitters across the room, and you can see that there's a whiteness to her eyes. She's blind. My mother was afflicted with a malady some time ago. Struck in
can-
the mountains.
I can do what I can.
Do any of you have lesser restoration?
No.
No.
That is not a druid spell.
It is.
Oh no,
actually.
it is. It is.
It is a druid spell.
Well, first, Callie's gonna go and do the. Okay, one sec. Detect poison and disease.
Okay.
Because she wants to know what this is before she tries to cure it.
So it is not poison-based or a disease.
Oh, okay.
She encountered one of the glowing ones.
One of the glowing ones.
Oh, you mean
Oh.
the yeah.
The ones of
frost
light.
The
beings.
frost corpse thing.
Yeah, we ran into one of those.
Oh.
She was able to defeat it as well. I can tell the story myself, son. I was able to defeat it, but it touched my eyes when it died.
One sec. Okay. Let me try this one then.
And Callie's just gonna kind of reach out and
Okay, I'm gonna touch your face. And reach. Maybe lean down a
And
little.
did you have it prepared?
yes, I did in fact.
Okay, well then cool. I'll just set the book aside then. I don't need that.
Because
Alright.
I figured I'd have to use it on one of my party members. at
That's a
some
fair
point.
bet.
That's valid.
Especially because the bard can heal things, so it's good to have
I will-
that backup.
Hold on
Yeah.
either side of her face and cast lesser restoration.
The frost that seems to be mingling in with the dark of her eyes melts away, and you can see that it runs down her cheeks in tiny rivulets, dripping down onto the yeti fur that wraps around her. She blinks a few times and looks up at you again with jet black eyes.
Well, looks down.
Oh, I suppose, yeah, even sitting, yeah. I guess she looks straight
That's why
across
I
at
told
you.
her to lean down.
Okay, so she looks at you.
Yeah, I'm short. Can get a lot bigger though.
It worked.
Okay, so that was one of the glowy. Note to self: keep that prepared. Okay. So guys, don't let the glowy things touch you.
Good to
Evidently.
know.
Herod. Yes, mother. Fetch me something to drink. Yes, mother. You four, sit. And be slow about it. Yes, mother. Arn is stubborn.
Your
He
son
means
is
well.
lovely, though.
I'd like to think they mellow each other out a little.
To handle him well.
An elf, a dwarf, and a human, along with a halfling. And if I heard correctly, a former paramour.
Maybe.
It is good that he received his oats, or dealt them out, I suppose. You did not become with child from that, did you? Are you
No.
their child? Points over at Katarina. That is about the right size.
No.
A bit
that
old.
did not happen.
An interesting combination.
I mean, that might be how you get humans. I don't know. Where did you guys come from?
There are many stories. Brave humans willing to contend with frost giants are one.
That would make sense in that Goliath and Halfling might produce human if human and frost giant produce Goliath.
That's so weird to think about.
Ah, yes, and a human would have the best traits of neither. You're muted, by the way, Mike. Actually, yeah, your mic made a noise a minute ago, so I don't know if you actually bumped.
There we go.
It's
Is
on
that
now.
better?
Yeah, it's on now.
Oh,
Now
okay.
Now you're blurry,
I-
but
Yeah, I don't know why I was muted. I didn't have the thing.
I heard
or
the
the
thing
I
go.
did hear some. Yeah,
I heard your
that.
mute noise a minute ago, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's funny because I didn't have anything done. I don't know why I'm not unblaring as well.
I bought a spare webcam, so if you want to swing by and grab that before Wednesday, you can. Give it a try.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't. This usually works.
Usually does work. It's kind of working. It's kind
There we go. This time it's working.
There it
we
is.
go.
Hey, it's you. Your beautiful face is back.
Haha. Anyone? Oh, and I'm blurry again. And anyone right beside Katarina will hear her mutter to herself. Wonder what I would produce then.
It depends
Oh,
what
that
you
would be
take into
weird.
yourself, young one.
What doesn't she?
Oh, that's more for Kelly, apparently.
Is this your
True.
spouse? She gestures to Lysithian.
Oh, you're
Lysithian
backing
is
up the
very
wrong
specifically
tree
anti
there.
that sort of thing. None of us
Never.
have spouses, as far as I'm aware. Do you guys have any that you haven't talked about?
No.
I just
No.
realized we never actually talked about that.
Clearly, you have many.
Yeah.
They're not spouses.
No, I know. I'm
Just a
saying.
string. Just a whole
Just-
string.
just-
One in every
just-
place we visit.
She
Don't
got.
shame me.
Gets around.
Oh,
Oh, I'm not shaming you, I
Shaming. I'm just it's a surprise.
You're
It's
just
surprising.
Surprise.
It's surprising it is just becoming a running theme, so I'm
Yeah.
just noting.
What can I say?
No.
I've been
Have you
up
ever
for a
tried a
while.
gnome?
Well,
Anyways,
No, they tend to smell a bit. They don't believe in like bathing that often, the males.
Ah,
They get a little
yeah.
too intense.
Anyways, you're saying, my lady.
he is intense. I can try to speak with him for you. Now that I can see, I should be able to...
When did this
He-
happen to you? How long have you had this?
A
When
few
did
months
you
now.
fight the few months? Okay.
It has been difficult. Without my sight, I am not as respected. Well, I am not as formidable.
I
Perhaps
could
if,
see how that would pose a problem.
however, now I am well respected in Skytower Shelter. I will talk to him. In the meanwhile, you are staying here?
Yes.
I would prefer to stay here overnight, at least on the mountainside.
Could do it, but I don't want to.
The mountainside is too treacherous. I would suggest that you go and try to make a game out of the bravado of the young ones. There are many games that could be played here.
Oh?
Rock lifting, tug of war, any of that. They'll respond well. They're just young and headstrong.
I wonder if they'd like to wrestle a polar bear.
I
I could.
guarantee that they will. You could what?
Oh no, I'm just thinking out loud. Fuck it.
You can continue your thought if you would like. There's plenty of air for you to speak.
Oh no, most of what I do has to do with reading. So if you have any very small, good to read to them. But that is about all I'm good for.
Well, we,
Pretty awesome magic.
we definitely
Yeah.
would appreciate some music.
Well, I can definitely help with that.
However, perhaps there is something that would interest you more. Off one of the side passages here, you'll find the Passage of Carvings. It shows our history. Perhaps it would be interesting for you to observe.
Is she directing that at Lysithian or Cat?
It's at the
so
end,
that's
but
what
it's kind of an open table thing.
Oh, fair enough.
Sure. I would
I
love
don't
to see
think
them.
I've seen those.
Have you not? Here. The cat will kind of give a concerned look up. Old bones. Come, let me show you. She takes you down a side passageway. Back around the front and toward where the feasting Goliaths can be heard. And down a rough-hewn passageway that slopes gently upward to the south. Ensconced torches illuminate carvings on the walls. This is the history of our clan. Look, see what you can determine. Anybody who'd like to can make me a history check.
Yeah, I would love to. I
Yeah.
like doing those rolls.
It is your boogie roll.
I will attempt to do history.
That's going to be 19.
19. So looking at this, did you say Vistra was trying?
I try. She got a 12, so it's
Okay.
not very well.
I got 15.
15? Okay. Vistra, actually, you may roll with advantage on this roll specifically for one thing. So you can re-roll.
So. Oh, that is a 22.
So looking at the carvings on the wall, so they're carved directly into the stone, and just given your dwarven knowledge of stone carving, you're going to be able to know that these carvings, some of them date back at least 500 years. Like, these are old carvings. Glancing around, the rest of you are going to gather as well that they are, that the oldest carvings are going on about 400, 500 years old, and the newer ones are actually quite recent. Looking at it, you can get a sense of the chronology of the events based on the age and depth and wear of the carvings. The earliest tell a story about how this tribe, the Akhenathi Goliaths, tamed the mountain, how they dug tunnels and caves to serve their needs, how they created a home for their people, how they tamed griffins, turning them from ravenous monsters into stalwart hunting companions. Lots of carvings of, like, griffins flying to and from, basically, like, their arms or their sides for the larger ones. Later carvings focus on wars against the orcs, when Skytower and Wormdoom Goliaths were united against a common foe. Carvings made within the past century chronicle the souring of their friendship, though, with scenes showing warriors of Wormdoom Crag slaying griffins, followed by bloody skirmishes between Goliath clans on the mountainside. The newest carvings depict something unique, though, and that is lone Goliaths chasing a giant polar bear. The polar bear is decorated with various bits of clothing that you will immediately recognize as Oya Mintarok. Oya Minotaur. Why would you do that to me, book? Oya. And sadly, the most recent carvings show a diminished population in Skytower as they contend against the seemingly endless winter. We are a people in trouble. This is, as I heard you state, my friend Elf, no time for war.
Yeah.
Young braves have hot blood and seek conflict. I hope that with some better sense, they can be taught that bigger foes can be taken down by allied forces.
If you were to combine your forces and heal the rift between the two tribes, you would be able to better defend yourselves. You would have people to call upon if things became difficult or if something were to happen. Let's say some great creature were to attack your village. Who would you call for help?
We would call no
Nobody. Exactly.
Also, you have a population problem. I'm sure they have a population problem. Could solve some population issues.
It could do that, and
Just
who knows? You can find companionship where you least expect it. I just kind of
Yeah,
like look
look at
around at
us.
the group. This is the last kind of group I ever thought I would be traveling with. However, They're good people, and you will find that perhaps they're not so bad. But you need to open the lines of communication. Not with your fist, but with your words.
I will keep that in mind. In the meanwhile, welcome yourself to the hospitality. I will go find Arn and do my best to work on him.
Sure. They were talking about getting meat. Is there anything that you have that is not meat in particular? If not, I have rations that I can subsist on, and that is totally fine. I just prefer no meat. It's kind of like a root. I can eat a root.
There's a little bit. There's a little bit that I can find for you. I will send one of the children in with a treat for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
The rest of you, go get some food and have some fun.
Katarina will look at Vistra and be like, "Hey, Vistra, do you want to go challenge somebody to tug of war?"
Yes. I've been waiting for you to ask me that. I'd also like to lift some rocks against people. That sounds pretty badass.
Well, I'm not going to help you with that.
Well, no.
But-
I'm going to do that myself after we tug of war.
Yeah.
But yes,
All right.
I've been waiting for you to ask me that, Katarina. Oh, thank you.
All right. Let's go have some fun.
Cool. In the other room, you will hear the sound of, once again, shouting and cheering as a pair of Goliaths once again contends wrestling with how long they can hold rocks in outstretched arms. Which is any of you actually really tried that? We used to do that in PE with books.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
it's
it's
the
not
worst.
easy.
No, it is not easy.
It is not easy. It's a great way to build up your shoulders, though. So, directly in front of you, you are going to see a pair of them once again trying it. It looks like they've just started, and as you enter, what do you do?
Just gonna, like, have any spare rocks and, want to get your ass kicked by a dwarf?
Huh. Is she serious? Are you serious, small one?
At that point, Katarina's gonna like clap Vistra on the shoulder and be like, don't forget, Vistra, don't go too hard on them.
You might have to go easy on them.
I know I can go easy on them, but
Yeah,
no.
don't go too hard. Don't embarrass them too.
Oh, no,
much.
I couldn't do that. After all, they are our lovely hosts. I wouldn't want us to get kicked out now.
Yeah, exactly. So take a D8.
Yes, thank you. I figured.
Okay. A female Goliath will stand up and wander over toward you, carrying a pair of heavy rocks. You can join in right now if you would like.
Sounds great.
Hold them parallel to the floor, one in each hand. Do you want them to restart? No, let her join now. A handicap will be much, much more generous to this mouse.
Well, I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to consider that you had a short rest during this time, so I will
Okay,
get rid of
good.
your
Good.
exhaustion.
Good. I was a bit worried about doing this with exhaustion.
Okay. So, you may grab the rocks, and this is going to be a strength and athletics check.
Alrighty.
Okay.
The
So,
reason Katarina isn't doing it with you.
for the first minute is rather easy. Roll me a d20 for the first minute. So, Vistra, you clutch the rock in your hand and lift it up.
Can I use my inspiration?
Sure, you can use the one that the chat bought you.
Yeah, cool, because I rolled a 2.
Well, thanks for the follow.
That's much better. That'll be an 18.
An 18? Okay, so you hold for the first minute. The second minute comes. Your DC increases by 5.
Fine, it's going to be a 26.
The second minute
Not 27.
is... Okay. The second minute is agonizing. The third minute comes across. And the one to the left of you is going to sag his arm down.
17.
17, you are still barely in it. You have a feeling that had you started the same time at the one on your left who just sagged out, you would probably be out of this at this point. The other one
It's
is
just gonna
holding
start swear, like she's gonna like do like the thing where like you start like if you're doing a workout and you start like grunting. Vistra is like.
The chat just bought you an inspiration. Oh,
Did they again? Oh,
yeah, 2.
chat.
You each got 2. So, all right. You can give it
And
to
then before you roll Kelly,
yes.
for his next one, Katarina's gonna say out to him like, "Oh, what is this? You don't even look like you're trying. Like, what the heck, man? You think you can really go up against Vistra? You
Okay.
think you could really do it?"
Is that a
And
D8?
All right.
that's a D8.
Okay, go ahead and
I'm
roll
gonna
it.
use the inspiration that the chat gave me to do advantage on this roll.
Does someone want to give inspiration to the Goliaths? Come on.
And that'll be a -5.
-5. My God, you guys are such cheaters.
I was gonna say, this really
know how
smacks of cheating,
Vistra.
guys.
Yeah, I don't know how Vistra internalizes this because you haven't been able to win without assistance. She's fine with
She's
that.
thinking of his
yeah.
encouragement. She's thinking it's encouragement.
Magical
yeah, she
tree
doesn't
nat
really-
20.
No!
That means I beat my difficulty by 1.
Get hacked, bro.
I have a 24.
The 24. You are still in. Okay, unless I roll another nat 20. Okay, go ahead and roll.
Come
you have
on!
enough. Spend that other inspiration.
I will. Okay, come on. Come on, dice. That always rolls a 20 for me when I first roll it to warm up.
And have you used your bardic yet? Oh my God!
Natural 20!
Natural 20, bitch.
I got a natural 20 that brings me to 28, bitch!
Doesn't matter. It's not based on height. It's based on width. So that's 2 natural 20s in a row from me on 1 dice.
Ah, very nice. Very nice.
Okay, so at this point, your arms are shaking and shaking and shaking, and I don't think there's actually a way that you can win this at this point. But I don't think there's a way he can win this.
Oh no!
It'll
All
be a
right.
good fight at least. Have you used your bardic yet?
I did use my bardic.
Okay.
So that brings me. Vestra, I think, is out. Is a that's only a 14.
A 14?
Yo.
Basically the same thing. So at this point, your arms are both gonna just his is gonna sag just a tiny bit, and then you're gonna be like, oh, well, if I can sag a tiny bit too, then we're still even. And you're gonna both kind of just like slowly just like race each other to the ground and just collapse. And the entire group of Goliaths are just going to laugh and cheer and drink.
And
You.
with that,
Ha! See? I bested one of you at least.
What do they say in human settlements? Get your gains, bro?
I don't even know what that means, but
Me either. Humans are stupid.
they are real stupid.
I
No.
believe the term is "get swole." Actually,
I am very swollen. It hurts most good.
Yeah, it feels good.
And what were you about?
with that, Kat's gonna pull the violin off her back and start playing.
All right. And you start playing and bring us into a nice party atmosphere. As
That's gonna be a 28 for performance.
And it actually, that loosens the tension. The combination of the music and the playing and the showing that a dwarf can keep up with that level of physical intensity is just enough to put everyone at ease, and that, you know what, maybe though you're outsiders, you're not so bad after all. And I think that's a perfect time as you play us out to our break. Guys, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Rime of the Frostmaiden here on Dork Tales. If you're joining us for the first time, the characters have traveled into Skytower Shelter, another settlement of Goliaths who they have managed to make a little bit of headway with. After your initial confrontation with the Goliaths, Vistra managed to earn some goodwill by two-handedly, winning their favor over with a rock holding contest. At which point, Katerina pulled out her violin and sealed the deal with a lovely rendition of the Rains and Castamere or something like that. We do not need a stone giant red wedding. I'm just going to put that out there. Or do we? Okay. I've got a song for that somewhere in here. One sec. I'm going to pop that on. Boop, 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 boop. So you party into the night and have a fairly relaxing time. Katerina, you got a 20 what on your roll? 28?
It's a 28.
That's a lot. That
Performance is her main thing. She adds plus 11 to it.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's huge. So one second.
And with
Oh, right, of course, because expertise.
yeah, and with one of my Bard College things, she can't actually get under a 21.
Really?
Yeah, because one of her things is any like charisma roll is a 10 base.
That is ridiculous.
Anything
All
you
right.
roll under 10 ends up being a 10.
Exactly.
That's fantastic, yeah.
Oh, that's super loud.
Well, you were doing
That's
it
better.
right into Goliath's ear, so. Okay, so this is...
I'm just gonna close my window real quick. It's kicking on my heater, so I need to turn off the heater.
Sounds good. All right, so you are playing and relaxing and having a good old time. Callie, what are you doing in the middle? Arn will eventually come back and find that you're probably sitting with Harrod, having a conversation about your former beau.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's gonna sit down and have a good gossip.
So what is the story of how you two met? What a strange pairing.
Well,
This is what I
There-
have to hear.
so there was a caravan that I was helping guard, but we got attacked by yetis and I got separated. And yeah.
Yetis.
Yeah. I got them really good, but when it's 3-on-1 at my size, I wasn't as good as I am now at turning into bigger things. I was not.
Did he
quite so
skin the
successful.
Yetis after you defeated them?
I believe so. Waste not, want not, right? And the fur's nice.
Arn will return into the room at this point.
I just got him in trouble.
What? What is wrong? Nothing, just learning about where you acquired my dowry present. Arn is a pale Goliath.
Callie will
He
look down
turns
into the
nearly
side.
translucent.
It was among several. A kill is a kill.
Of course it is. Killer.
Yes, enough of this,
Arn says.
You,
Oops.
like Scythian,
Yes, what can I do?
gather your others, we will speak.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. He will lead you into a bit of a crook of the cave, where you can see that there is a bunch of sleeping bags, actually. In this communal area, blankets and bedrolls made from hides lie in a rough circle around a smoldering fire. In the alcove to the north, 3 young Goliaths are playing amid a pile of coins and gemstones. Now, this pile has thousands of coins in it, of silver and gold, just lying in the corner, and they're playing on it like it's a sandbox. Wealth means different things to different people. Katerina, do you keep playing your instrument, or just give it a rest as you head over?
If we're heading out to a different section, she'll give it a rest.
Okay. A couple of the Goliaths will groan. Oh, come on!
I'll be back shortly. Just
You had better, I need to finish that dance. I am the greatest dancer that ever was. You wish! You dance like a drunken ox! I've seen a drunken ox. That's a compliment.
I'll come back and have a dance off with you fine lads later on.
I would dance off with the redhead. Yes, as would I. An intimate dance.
Neither of you will have an intimate dance with her, a female Goliath says. For you see the way she was looking at me?
Oh, you're serious?
Of course I'm serious. That one prefers different tastes. I can see it in the way that she flicks her eyes.
Am I out of the room by this point?
Like, they're really loud.
Oh, okay.
So I think we all hear this.
All
So
hear this.
Callie's gonna pause a moment and motion you down and go, it's worth it.
If my name is not
Goliath name generator.
don't fail me.
Interesting
My
name.
name is
Goliath
not
name
Goliath
generator.
name generator. Then I am not.
Yeah, that's the member of the tribe that generates all the names.
Exactly.
Goliath name.
Give me your child, for I am the Goliath name.
If
Name
my
generator.
name is not Kivea Bear Murder.
Yes.
Hot as fuck.
Oh
Hell
damn,
yeah.
Katarina.
I'm bringing the
I
Bear
think,
Murder
Katarina,
name
that
over.
one is definitely worth it.
Oh, that one.
Considering what we know about bear
the
murder.
Bear Murder Clan.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
That's,
You know what? I'm gonna change it. It's gonna not be Bear Murder. It's gonna be Hard Chaser.
Aw.
Because that
Okay.
just sounds just as dirty.
that
Hell
is true.
yeah.
What do you chase hard?
Yes, for those of you who
You
have
know.
not watched back in generic fantasy enough, there was
Thorn Bear Murder, who got his name by murdering a bear when he was 4.
Yeah.
he was also a Goliath
Hell
He-
and worked in a brothel.
He gave Mars a good time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The tiefling had a wonderful time. They're basically in love, but she won't admit it. Or she will. I don't remember. All right, anyway, back to this. You head into the side passage with Arn.
I have talked much about what is to be done. You said that she wishes to meet Ogilai.
Yes.
Yes.
Did she say where?
At their goat ball court.
No. I will not
We'd
meet at her
halfway.
lair. There is a
Somewhat
nearby,
halfway?
roughly halfway, there is a mountain peak called the Snow Spear. If she will meet me halfway there, if she is able-bodied enough to brave the mountain, then I will meet her there, but I promise nothing beyond that.
Hey, I think meeting halfway is a perfectly fair way to start.
Sounds
think
like
that's
a
the way it should go.
compromise. Fair.
Mhm.
If she's not willing to go halfway, then
Then I will bring my warriors and meet. How long will it take for you to bring her there? 2 days? 1?
Don't know.
Can I insight this?
Yes, you
Yeah.
may.
May I also?
Yes, you may.
Okay, that's pretty fucking good. Okay.
30-20.
Dirty 20?
That's
Okay.
going to be 23.
23. So it looks like that in traditional fashion, he plans to travel there with a contingent of Goliath warriors. It might be a good idea to try to convince him to do it with a smaller retinue as a show of peace.
That was my thought. So, how many are you planning on bringing?
Not many. 8? Maybe 9.
8 might be a little bit too much. I
You
say
might want to consider a few less, just to show that you are open to be like you are the better person. Better
Well,
Goliath.
you don't want to say that you are better, but I think
Well,
make it more
there's an
unequal.
indication there that you're showing trust.
You
Right,
think
and then
she-
generally-
trust. So then the less you bring, the more trust there is, honestly. And you also will have us there.
It's like a
there's-
peace offering, a branch, and
Well, no. It's not so much
For a
an
branch?
offering. It's showing you're coming here, and if she then double crosses you, you have the high ground.
I do like
there
the
will
high
be no
ground.
double crossing.
Yes. But this way, it looks that way, right? Callie's gonna give you guys looks of like, shh. There's a way to manipulate these guys. She's gonna give you the.
So you can make me a persuasion roll if you like.
Sure.
Why do you think Katarina stayed quiet for this?
Nat 20.
Are you kidding me?
No, my ash scales
Hey,
dice
someone
pulled through
else.
again.
Someone else has to get nat 20s tonight, Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay. No, just me. Just me.
No.
No, I rolled a
Chat
12.
Me
one. You
too.
haven't been the only one yet.
Me too.
Okay. Fine. I'll bring a couple. A small one.
Sounds good.
So maybe no griffins at this point.
Yeah, maybe leave the griffins home.
Yeah, leave them with the rest of your people so that they're protected.
I would not trust griffins around anyone from Wormdoom. We saw what they did last time.
Oh, now is the time to make a new history, and hopefully a stronger one. And this is a great first step towards that new era. You can
you-
have some different gate drawings on your caves.
If you head back tonight, it would probably be too dark. Head back in the morning, and I will meet them there at noon. 2 days from now. Gesundheit.
Okay.
Thank you. It's very cold.
It is very cold.
Noon 2 days from now.
Okie dokie.
We'll make it work.
In the meanwhile, enjoy your night.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Thank
We
you.
will.
good to see you again.
You too. Your husband is lovely.
Yes, he is very lovely. He is quite a butterball. Please try not to get me in trouble.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I didn't know that.
I have told him some things about our history, but not everything.
Okay. But he's really nice to talk to.
He is lovely. You can see
Yes.
why I love him so dearly.
Yes. How did you get that lucky?
I am the strongest, most attractive male here.
That's okay, but still.
Also, I do lots of squats.
Okay, fair. He
What
did
is the
mention
phrase?
that.
One must keep it tight.
Yes. He did mention that, so good job.
Let us just say I am a mighty hunter, and I slew him well.
Well, I might get back to entertaining before these guys rip their heads off.
Probably a good idea. I'm gonna lay down and read, probably.
Do you have any carving tools?
Yes, of course.
Oral?
Let's see. He'll wander over to the pile where the children are playing, and they're kind of playing a little quieter since you're in the room, just kind of watching you. Now, mind you, these are children, but even so, these children are about 5 feet tall.
Oh man.
He will
That's a
dig through the
carving
pile and pull out a carving kit. Here. We have no need for this at the moment. You may use it while you are here.
Thank you.
And with that, he'll lead you back out into the party. Do you kick it back off, Katarina?
Yeah, she's gonna come running back into the room already playing.
All right.
And-
So
And she's gonna go up to the female goliath that was talking it up,
mhm.
and she's gonna go pay special attention to her and while showing off to the guys.
Nice. I just Googled female Goliath, and I'm just gonna drop a photo in the stream for what I think is probably good. So enjoy that. It's not my art though, so I can't share it beyond just sending a link to people. but you will see a very striking female Goliath dressed in leathers, her pale, almost purple-hued skin and very, very bright eyes look up from a completely bald crown. Her only, instead of hair, all you can see are markings, striping along her scalp. She waggles her only hair, her eyebrows, at you. They're very, very thin, mind you, but like still. It is a long-known secret that Goliaths cannot grow facial hair.
Fair enough. Can I roll a seduction check?
Yes, you may. Go ahead, give me a persuasion roll.
Okay.
I think this is the proper first time that the bard has asked to seduce something.
Yeah, this is my
Yeah.
first seduction
Yeah.
roll.
Actually, you know what? You may do this with advantage because of your violin playing.
Nat 20?
Nat
Thir-
20.
Damn
31.
Nice.
My first roll was a base 10, but I'm super happy with my nat 20 on my first seduction roll. Yay, bard.
Okay.
31.
That's
The bard is
awesome.
getting some tonight.
Hell yeah.
+1 to the body count.
That's Callie's phrase. Though I think
Callie
people
doesn't
didn't
need to
necessarily-
keep track anymore.
No, she doesn't.
True. But it's kind of fun all the same.
That's fair.
She's gonna stare at you from across the room. And stand up and abruptly walk out of the room.
I think you're meant to follow her.
And Katarina will prance off after.
The music descends down the halls, and then you will hear a plong as a violin hits the ground somewhere down the hall.
Oh my god, yeah, pretty much.
All right,
meant
so
to tell her
Katarina is
later.
out for the rest of the night. I'd like you to make me a Constitution save.
Could make a constitution-based performance check too.
That's true. Or athletics, or acrobatics.
I got a nat 20.
Did you get a nat 20?
I got a nat 20.
Excellent.
It's a good night.
Don't you get your dabs out of here, Mike. I'll kill you. I'm out. I quit. You'll never
Oh.
see me again.
All right, fine. Someone call Alejandro. We'll get him on here.
All right. Do it. Bet.
If he wants to come play a Goliath, he can play a Goliath next episode.
Dude, I'll text him.
Text him, be like, you want to play a Goliath? You just get to sound like Worf the entire time.
It's like, hey, you want to play Goliath while I'm out?
Would you like to rage?
Be like, hey, do you just want to be Travis? For
Just want to be,
2 weeks?
I mean,
Yes.
give me Travis's number. I'll just message him.
I
I
wish I
know,
had Travis's number.
I know.
I want to be Travis.
I know. I want to party with him. I want to work out with him. All right. Anyway,
Dude, fucking same. Anyway.
get those guns. I'm so sore because I actually started lifting again. But anyway,
Anyways.
it's so my biceps hurt, and I got to do it again tonight because no days off. With that, you have a great night. Callie, how are you spending the rest of your night?
I think she's just going to continue chatting and probably join in on any dancing if they continue with more music, and then just kind of chill out.
Okay. You'll have a fantastic night. You'll be given a nice place of honor to rest throughout the evening. The mother takes, Kanyaka takes pretty good shining to you overall.
Good.
And Vistra, you end up participating in another couple games of strength throughout the night. I want to see how you do at them, though. So throughout the night, you are going to get into, where is it? Because they give you a bunch of rules for tug of war.
No bardic inspiration this time.
No,
Yeah.
this is on her own. We'll see how she
all
does.
on your own. Okay, one sec. Griffin taming.
I have faith in you as a player.
Okay. I
Hopefully.
think it's under the Goliath section.
Dice love me. Which dice are going to be my good babies? Who hasn't rolled tonight?
Okay, so you are going to get into quite a contest of strength, which they don't... Where is it? It should have been, like, right here, guys. I have goat ball. They don't have a goat ball court.
You have me waiting at the ready, and my dice are
I have you waiting at the
cocked
ready.
and loaded.
Well, just hold on a sec. Hold your cocked dice for a minute, and sorry, I can't find it. It was right here earlier. It was literally right in front of me. If they... You know what? We're just going to do the rock challenge again.
All right.
That guy wants a rematch.
Okay. All right, buddy.
First round, roll.
All right. Math.
Was it above a 5?
Yes.
All right. First minute is not a problem. Second minute, you win. Unless you roll a 1.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Did you roll a 1?
No, I rolled a 2.
I think he rolled a 1 though.
Oh, right. You rolled that down.
Wait. What's your total with the 2?
10.
Okay, so you will manage to eke it out. Your muscles are still swollen and sore from that first day. And you are going to be able to hold out just a little while longer than him. Okay, you are strong.
Well done! Go Vistra!
Told you so. Come on now. I only spike the truth. I'd never lie. About anything.
The insight check code.
It's your insight check.
Just for the shits and giggles.
All right.
The shits and the gigs.
That's going to be 16.
16. Okay. So what are you implying there, Vistra?
Huh? Oh, what am I implying? Oh, just the whole
Fucking
stuff
liar.
about her passage she's told about,
You're
Okay.
a fucking liar, is what you're insinuating.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
Callie was a little like, huh?
the whole
well then.
leading her crew and sister part. It's not something that she openly tells people.
Okay.
So she's kind of implying that,
Okay.
Good. Lying is a weakness, I find as well, this one says. Unless it is to tell a joke. For example, why did the axe beak cross the road?
Why did the XP cross the road?
I don't know. Do I look like an axe beak to you?
Kind of.
What?
I'm joking.
You're so funny.
See? Another example of how you can joke.
Ah, a small joke. Small jokes
Yeah.
are strange.
Well, your large jokes are strange too, We're different people. We find each other strange.
I do find you strange.
Yeah, you're kind of strange too.
So hairy.
I know, you're so bald. It's weird. I like my hair. It's a status, I take good care of it because it's a status thing in my people.
Well, it is a good thing that I am not around dwarfs, for I am so tall they would not be able to see whether or not I had status. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you have a great night. Not as good as Katarina's night, though. Katarina, as you head out the next morning, a lot of you are going to be refreshed, recuperated, and will head out into the day, crossing the mountains again with a real spring in your step.
I'd just like to say something because
Yeah.
I was supposed to only use the carving tool while I was there.
Oh, that's true. What are you carving?
So I carved into my new hilt of my dragon bone. Because Vistra had a name for her axe before she came to Icewind Dale, and that was, she called it Skull Basher because she was immature and a young dwarf. But now she's carving in the dwarven name Retribution. So
Okay,
her
so
axe
you
is
now have your retribution axe.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Okay,
So, yeah, just wanted to do that
fantastic.
with her new-
So that's what you can do.
new
That's
dragon.
not a problem at all. And you make your way across
the mountain. Is anyone else doing anything before they leave the next morning?
No.
Okay.
Callie's gonna try and chat with Herod a little more.
Okay. So you just
One last chance to get him in trouble.
Sure. You chat with him a bit. What are you gonna try to tell him? What's the vibe you're trying to get across?
Well, not so much that, just kind of like just doing like the usual chatting, and if something happens to be right.
Sure. So you have a wonderful encounter, and says, "I will see you soon. I will be making a point to accompany my husband to the negotiation."
Oh, fantastic! It'll be good to see you.
Yes, it will. I'm going to try to make sure that my mother does not come along. The trip is a bit much.
I imagine it would make for a very quick resolution, though. I have a feeling she could berate anybody into anything.
Mm-hmm.
She seems tough.
She was. In her youth, she was among the toughest. Now, she is still quite strong. Well, it could be worse. At least she has her sight again thanks to you. You are a good friend. I am happy to have you in my husband's tapestry and in mine as well.
I am glad to have you as a friend, too.
I am sorry that I do not find you attractive in that way.
That's fair.
Perhaps for my husband's life day, you will come back.
There's some... Yeah, if I'm not busy.
And bring ale. I could not do such a thing without plenty of ale.
I'll have to source some. The 10 towns are a little short on that right now.
Oh, his life day is many months away.
That's fair.
Go with strength, Callie Thornhill.
You too.
And remember your squats.
Always.
With that, you head over the mountain. So who is in the lead? Who is going to be the navigator this time?
I have my eagle vision. You know, I
Yeah.
can see real far ahead, guys.
Okay, so that
I
means
have
that...
+3 to survival.
I have +7 to survival, too.
Oh, probably
Right.
not me.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
my
light,
survival's
so it
only
doesn't really
+2.
matter. We
So.
don't need dark vision, so Callie, you
True.
can lead. You're friggin' survival.
Okay, so Callie, is anybody assisting?
I'll assist.
Okay, so you can roll with advantage.
I'm trying to get back in an hour.
Yeah. Only if they carry us.
Okay, well, that dice also loves me. So that's
Okay.
good. One sec, so 23.
You are going to manage to make good time, and you cross the mountains on the old pathways, trudging across, and sure enough, the night before, a bit of a blizzard must have swept through here. But it's not due back for another day, maybe longer from your look. And as you cross over the mountains, you are making pretty good time. You're a little past the halfway mark, where you can see that right up there, that's probably what he's talking about. The spine, pardon me, the snow spear. That large, jagged mountain with the flat peak. That's probably where the meeting's going to be tomorrow. Oh, well, not much more time until that. Not much more time before dark. You should hurry. You manage to move as sure-footed as a mountain goat. And as you do, you will come to a bit of a flat spot atop the mountain. The snow is still very dense, and you'll find yourselves wading through about up to Callie's waist, so definitely calf deep for everyone else. It's a little thinner here, and you can see where the snow plunges off the edge of this side of the mountain, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of feet down. Wormdoom is maybe 3 miles away. Just over that rise, you'll start being able to see its mountain range. And then the ground begins to shake.
Ah, crap.
Here we go.
Oh.
Everything was too easy, I guess.
Yep.
You will see over the next rise a huge pair of horns begin to slowly bob up and down. Something is coming toward you. What do you do?
Perception check?
Perception check.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Do I recognize this?
Can I? No, go ahead.
It looks like the horns of a small mammoth. Maybe. They're long curling horns. It's almost like perhaps a giant ram. And
How far away?
about 100 feet over the rise, or over, I guess, the slope is what I should say.
I think Callie's gonna see if there's any way to kind of avoid it for a little bit to try and figure out what it is.
Is there anyone on it?
So first off, Lysithian, you were going to do something as well, right?
Oh no, but now that you've said it was a mammoth, I'm not going to do
I
it.
said there it was mammoth horns.
Okay, I'm going to still do what I was going to do.
Okay.
Is it close enough that I could detect surface thoughts?
That's a range of 30 feet, unfortunately.
Damn it! All right, if it gets any closer, I'm going to do that.
There's no brush or anything, just mounds of snow nearby. And as this continues to rock back and forth, you will see a large iron dome begin to rise up as well. And that's when you'll realize that these horns are mounted inside of a helmet. A helmet that's roughly the size of a man's shield. It continues. What do you do?
I'm going
Anywhere we could
to.
hide?
You could try to bury yourself in the snow.
I think Callie is the only one who could actually do that.
There's some deeper pockets over away from the mountain's edge. It would be difficult, but you could try.
Do we want to try?
Uh,
I think that's a giant. We should probably try and avoid that.
yeah, so maybe duck
I'm-
off to the side.
Yeah.
Hide.
Yeah, I mean, it's liable
Yeah,
to send us into
everyone,
orbit.
let's all take the hide action, perhaps.
If everybody
Sounds
would,
good to me.
if everyone would like me to, or would like to make me a stealth roll, that would be very advantageous. Anyone?
All right, that's going to be 15.
15?
23.
23?
14.
21.
21. Okay, just a moment here. My perception is...
And actually, how long does this take? One action. Pass without a trace.
Okay, are you going to cast that first?
Yes.
Okay. So everybody can add plus 10 to your score.
Oh, hell yeah, that's going to be
Yeet.
22 then.
That'll be
35.
24.
Or 25, my bad.
25?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 25, 24. It's something ungodly for Katarina. Okay.
31.
35, yeah.
31. Okay, so everybody has better than a 20. Cool. The ground continues to shake and shudder. A frost giant, riding on the back of a mammoth, makes his way across... No, her way across this expanse of flatness. The mammoth is not struggling with her weight, is acting like a normal steed. You can see that empty nets hang off of its side. From where you're hiding in the snow, she rides and keeps her eyes open and out over the horizon.
How big is a frost giant?
A
Colin?
frost giant
Big.
is very big. So let me just give you an example. It is considered huge. Huge for size purposes is takes up a space of 3 by 3 squares.
Woo!
But for height, let me just see if I can get the exact one, because giants are a pretty diverse lot. So a frost giant is about 21 feet tall.
Oh, that's
Yikes.
big.
Yikes, that's a
big.
lot of Vistras.
That is a lot of Vistras. And a frost giant generally is... Marvel got it pretty right overall. Tall, blue skin, white hair. Hers... Very angry, yeah. They're not really nice people. Her hair is braided back underneath that curving skull cap with horns. You could see that she has banded iron armor and human skulls decorating each of her greaves. And as well as her gauntlets, actually. And as she rides forward, she pauses and looks around. She speaks in giant under her breath. Mytar. Pulls out her long, almost 30-foot-long lance and sweeps it across the trail that you walked in through. Where are you? Where are you? Insect. And then slowly, she continues walking. Well, walking her giant mammoth over to a place where she can begin to switchback it down the mountainside. She appears not to have seen you. About 5 minutes pass with you buried under the snow. Could I get everyone except for Vistra to make me a quick Constitution save? Now, you'll make this roll with advantage because you're wearing cold weather outfit.
Oh, good.
17?
17, you're fine.
Ugh,
You are
13.
What'd you get, Mike?
13.
13. You are... Let me double check at the beginning. I think you're going to be fine. I think the DC is 12, but it might be 14. One second.
My first roll was 10.
So you are fine.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So you are fine. You are all going to be quite chilly coming out of this. Vistra, you are cold, but you don't even really register it anymore.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
All right,
just
so
now.
coming out of there, you see her off in the distance, a good 200 feet away by the time you climb up. Looking around, you can see that spear that she whipped around and used to poke your trail that you had left behind before the spell was cast. It looks like the mast of a ship. In fact, Vistra, you recognize that is the mast of a ship. Just for scale of how large this creature is.
She used a ship mast, guys. Like a boat. Like what I came here on. This large.
Probably best that we don't mess around with a frost giant.
Do they hunt in picks? Or do you think that was a scout? Like, are we
Do
gonna
I know anything about frost giants and what I've read?
Make me an intelligence roll.
Okay. It's pretty good. It's going to be a 21.
Okay. Odds are that if it was a pack of hunters, they would have been traveling together already. She is obviously tough enough by herself. She's probably just out doing some hunting either for herself, maybe herself and her immediate kin. But she's probably alone. You probably got off easy.
As far as I can tell, she is alone. If she were to hunt in a pack, they would be with her. So, probably lone hunting, and I think we were probably the prey.
Yeah, I would bet. Let's
Should we stay quiet for a little bit?
Yeah, let's continue
but
on,
keep
but-
moving. Just stay low.
alert. Yeah. Well, you say low. Kelly and I will just kind of stay normal.
It's true. Okay.
The rest of the trip back is actually uneventful. You make it back takes a little longer than an hour, but given the circumstances, you can't really blame yourselves. Before long, you'll find yourselves back at Wormdoom Crag. Ogilai greets you warmly and serves you some hot tea. So, what did you discover on your adventure?
Well, we ran into a frost giant.
Didn't run into it.
Well, we avoided it handily.
And you
Exactly.
survived. Avoidance
Yeah.
is the best way to do that. I would recommend not fighting a frost giant without many allies.
Didn't want to. Luckily, we didn't have to.
Also, we met the other Goliath. I like you guys better personally, but like,
Oh my goodness, Vistra.
they seem pretty nice.
Obviously. Good.
I mean, I can't agree with you, Vistra, so.
We all have our opinions.
You
Oh
do
my
not think that
goodness.
we are the best? Small one?
Well, see, Arn and I have a history. So, it's not so much about best or anything like that or playing favorites.
You were wise to not reveal this beforehand. Fine. What did you discover?
They want to talk.
When should we prepare for their arrival?
They
They
want
would
to
like
meet
to
you
meet at that big spire in the middle.
at the snow spear.
Yeah, that one.
2 days. 2 days from now at noon. They would like to meet you there.
No, that was 2 days last evening, so it'd be a day.
Oh, last evening. Yeah, yeah.
So tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yes.
Tomorrow.
Don't want
at
to
noon.
mess that up.
Yeah, no. Whoops.
I will gather my contingent and head out then.
They're going small, so I would say only bring 2 of your best
2 to
trusted
3.
advisors.
Very
2 to 3 people. They're going small, so
Yeah,
as
we
a
convinced
Keep
them
it
to
small.
gesture of goodwill.
show a nice show of trust.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we will also be there as mediators. So
Yeah, we'll go with you.
I see. Acceptable. All right. I will do that then. You have been good to us. Will you come along as well?
of course.
Yeah.
That's what
I'll
we
do
said
that.
we would do.
Gotta see it through.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We can help simmer down any, tempers if need be.
Well, as much as you're able to, really.
As much as you are capable of. I'm going to take some different spells because I long rested.
well, the rest of you, I guess you'll be reading. All of you enjoy yourselves. We will head out at first light. Perhaps a little early. Be ready.
Will be.
Sure.
Good. Then I will let you rest. And you have a day of just kind of working on your own things, enjoying yourselves. Is anybody doing anything in particular, or just kind of like, getting ready for this negotiation?
I'm going to just be reading my books, specifically just looking up like find familiar, and I'm just gonna be kind of sitting in the corner, just like muttering different animal names out loud, just like, no, like a weasel, no, just like muttering like different, just kind of like so deep in thought, not paying attention to anything. Like, when you're reading and just everything else goes away, that's the mode Lysithian's
That's
in
fair.
right now.
At one point, Nalane will come over and just say really quietly, "May I read next to you?"
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Take a
And
seat.
you will have a study buddy. She will sit next to you
Oh,
and just
yay!
read, and occasionally
And
will
if
get
she-
up and refill your coffee or tea.
Oh, and if she has any questions or is like doesn't understand, I would like lean over and help her.
She's smart.
I guess
She's smart. So she will have some questions. Which spells did you give her again? You gave her
I gave her
Fireball, obviously.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna pick I'm gonna pick 4 random first level spells and some cantrips real quick, and then I'll text them too because I'm gonna pick them. So jump to somebody else, and then I will.
Sounds good. What about you, Katarina? What are you doing?
She's probably just gonna be chilling in the corner, writing some, doing some composing.
Okay. You make me an intelligence and performance roll. I want to see how well you compose.
All right.
What kind of rhymes can you think up?
All right. So intelligence and performance?
Yeah. For braining good rhymes.
For braining good rhymes, that is going to be a 15.
All right, you will introduce this world to the rhyme about mom's spaghetti. Congratulations, it is an instant classic in the making, you're pretty sure. All right, Vistra, what are you doing?
Probably trying to compete with anyone that'll wrestle her, because she really likes the wrestling versus like the rock holding. She's like, I want to wrestle someone. She's probably just gonna go start
Okay, roll me 80-20.
challenging people.
Okay.
Hey, what am I adding to that? Anything?
You're adding your athletics.
Okay, cool. 23.
23?
Yeah.
All right, so you are going to win your next bout. It's going to be... it is going to be a pretty easy one, actually. So good job there. And finally, Callie, what are you doing?
I think she's just gonna hang out with everybody else and kind of watch and join in, though. I mean, if anybody wants to, she'll wrestle as a polar bear.
Yeah, okay. I
As long as she has enough time to rest to regain wild shape afterwards.
You know what? You will do so, and you are going to stomp ass on the first person who wrestles you. The second person as well. But the third time, it is going to be a... make me a strength roll for your third one. The first two I rolled a 1 and a 2, so I wasn't even going to make you check.
That is going to be 21 with polar bear strength.
Okay. The last wrestling match with the polar bear is actually going to be a long and drawn out one. And it's going to be, you're going to eventually conquer after a few minutes. And Vistra, as you're sitting aside watching and being plied with a cup of wine and like some meat, one of the Goliaths is going to say, "Wrestle Vistra next. Vistra versus bear. Vistra versus bear. Vistra versus bear."
Vistra. Wanna? She will.
All right, Kaylee.
All right, go ahead. Both of you make me a strength and athletics roll.
All right.
Okay.
Nat 20.
Dude, fucking same.
With a 20 strength.
28, you said?
20
So-
strength, so it would end up being 25 total.
Okay, well, if my
If she doesn't have-
athletics is 28.
I don't think I get any proficiency.
Okay.
Mm,
So,
Proficiencies as an animal.
28.
so what we're going to do is the first round is going to go off, and basically you need 2 consecutive. So give me a second roll. So the first round, you lock with the bear. The bear begins pushing back. Oh, God, so much bear power.
Okay, come on, polar bear.
Come on, hold on, bear.
Oh, there we go.
All right, Vistra, you're in first. What do you get?
25.
Callie?
25 on a nat 20.
25 on a nat 20. Oh, the bear is going to resist. Oh, you have got the bear in a lock. You could start pushing down. That's not going to count as consecutive, but it won't count as a miss. I need you to do another reroll. You are locked in combat. The bear and the dwarf are wrestling. Your little legs digging into the stone of the floor.
Oh, no! 2.
Oh, no, I rolled an 18.
Okay.
So I add 5 to that.
The bear
That'll be
begins
10 in
pushing
total.
back, pushing you down into the stone of the floor, almost knocking into the studying students in the corner. Are they always this annoying?
Unfortunately, yes.
There is a better place to read over here. Please follow me. Nalani leads you to a better room. It's covered with like It's covered with
I
like
love
graffiti and like it looks like a teenage girl's part of a cave. All right, and here's for all the dough. Give me another roll, bear versus dwarf.
Come on.
Are you kidding?
Not 20.
I rolled an 18.
Okay, so Vistra, you're going to start pushing down this bear again. The bear is only on 3 legs right now, pivoting. It's going to take one more to drive home. One more. Callie, one more time. One final time, because you need 2 consecutive. You need 2 in a row.
Dirty 20.
This will be 22.
Oh, the bear surges back forward. Oh, come on, Callie. Can you do it, or is it going to be Vistra?
Nat 20 again.
Nat 20 again.
No way!
You guys
This
are going to...
guy
take a
loves
picture.
Nat 20s.
This
Oh
die
my
likes the nat 20s.
I mean, technically...
This is my Ash Scales dice from Lindorm. These are the ones that always roll me 20s.
These are my like barbarians rage from Lindorm as well.
Oh, nice.
Good. We're not sponsored by them anymore, but still, kind of.
But still.
Oh
God
my
damn, y'all.
God damn. By the way, okay, fine. You know what? I haven't removed this chat command yet, so hold on. It's technically not sponsored by Lindorm Dice, but they're so good. Someone clip this, and so I can send it to Lindorm Dice so they sponsor us again. Okay, give me... You know what? I know technically Vistra is going to win with this one, but with the double nat 20s, I just want to see how big of a win it is. So roll me one more time to see how hard the bear puts up a fight as it is pinned.
It puts up a 24 of a fight.
I'm 19.
Okay, so Vistra, you are able to push the bear down to the count of 3, but it's one of those, like, the bear is down, its shoulders touching the ground. 1, 2, the bear surges back up. You have to recount. No, you don't. You all got an elbow under Callie's jaw. 1, 2. And eventually, after about 3 minutes of just raw struggling, Callie, she is going to get you for the count of 3.
I figured as much that would happen.
But my god, that was a long and drawn out fight. And with that...
Callie's gonna switch back and be like, all right, ale! Pat Vistra on the
I
back.
second that, and yeah, cut through the friendly camaraderie, like, yeah.
All right, congratulations, Vistra. You defeated an actual bear. Now you just have to fight Lyra, who is the bear boss.
Yes, the bear boss.
Bear boss.
Boss
As-
bear.
Ooh. By the end of the night, Lysithian, she will have mastered light and have the basics of Firebolt. If not the execution, some of the... Like this? Spark, spark, spark.
Yes, you're getting it. So you just want to make sure how I picture it is because it is heat, right?
Yes.
Picture it coming from your core and moving all through your arms to the tips of your fingers. So when you take your components for it, I want you to picture that.
A little spark. I think I'm starting to get it. Thank you very much, teacher.
You're welcome.
You are a very good teacher.
I try. It's not as good as my own master. He was very unique. He was a human, actually.
Most strange.
Right? Humans are surprising at times.
No matter what happens, I would like to see you again. If you... After the negotiations tomorrow. Maybe we'll have time to learn this tomorrow. I can surprise you.
I expect you to. So keep practicing, yeah? But don't be throwing any fireballs during a game, alright?
Yes, of course not. Thank you very much.
If I can't use magic during Goat Ball, you can't use magic during Goat Ball.
Maybe I could get some target practice competition in.
Maybe. We can always practice when I get back from the negotiations, yeah?
Yes, please. I mean, yes,
Sure.
please.
No, you can be excited.
Then I will be.
Good. I'm very proud of you.
And she will flush very darkly. The rest of the night will pass lovely. And you'll awaken in the morning and accompany the group out into the mountains. There is only 2 people that are brought alongside of Ogilai.
One is Grugheim, and the other is a, let's see, it was Ogilai, Grugheim, and a female named Capeo will go along as well. Before long, you will find yourself moving through the mountains again, up into the snow spear. Atop the snow spear is a wide expanse of flat stone. There are many ways up to this. Old stone steps carved into the mountainside. It's a steep enough climb that an old chain dangles just enough around the edge so that you don't have nothing to hang on to, although you worry about its strength. Were you to lean on it too heavily. About every 30 feet, it's notched into the stonework with large, sword-length pitons. And as you reach the top, you can see that there is an old, unused circle. A meeting circle, carved into the floor of this wind-swept mountain. As you crest the rise with Ogilai, you'll see that Arn is there with two of his own. He is there with Kivea and Hayden.
So you actually came?
Yes, I did come. Throughout the night, did you have any suggestions on what to try to suggest to them? Any other diplomacy that you'd like to suggest to them? Or do you just want to see what happens?
I was thinking, let's see what happens and go from there.
Okay.
I'd say we might have suggested just to both sides, like what we had said.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you
The
don't
Sky
want
Tower.
like this world like this is not the time for war and
For war, all
you
of
guys
that
can be
just kind of
stronger
reiterated.
together.
Sure. And why
You're
isn't this
stronger
the time for war?
You're stronger together, can take down a frost giant together, yada yada, that sort of thing.
this
Okay.
endless winter, blah blah
Stronger
blah. you
together
need to
and
Is there anything
Deal
more
with frost bitch.
Are
And with the tribes together, they might help solve the population issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I'm thinking of like other stuff, but I can't really think how to word any of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'd
Okay.
say it's like it's no time for war, because if they want to keep both of their tribes around, and if they feel that they're having a population issue, they don't necessarily have to combine the tribes, but having peace between them will help keep the numbers up and will
you
help.
don't want to be
both
wasting
of-
lives at this point.
Exactly. Like there's
precious.
no point in wasting lives.
There's
Like,
much
are
greater
your
enemies
lives
to worry
worth
about.
Okay.
Yeah, are your lives worth this conflict from years ago?
not
that has
necessarily what
nothing
will
to
work
do-
on Goliath.
Well, I'm thinking Lysithian brain. This is just
Okay. So, as
not
you
in
have
the
led them
accent.
up there, both of them look at each other and approach the stone circle that's carved down. As they approach it, each of them will shrug off their furs, stripping down to their base leather armor and hide clothing. They sit about 10 feet apart from each other and set their weapons down behind them and stare at each other. Both of them scowl. Neither says a word. 5 minutes pass. 10. 20.
30.
They having a staring contest.
They are having a staring contest.
That's what I assumed.
Kivea will stand over nearby and just keep an eye out, but Harrod will come over and will lean down. Neither of them is
Hello.
willing to talk first.
Hmm.
I tried to
Nice.
work on them.
Any suggestion on how we can potentially break the ice? I can be outrageous. I'm good at being outrageous. Would that work?
No, I would not. I think it is best that we wait, bundle up. This may take hours, it may take
That's
days. Let us hope it does not take weeks.
Yeah, if it takes weeks, I'm gonna turn into a Cali popsicle. An icicle.
A
Perhaps you can,
calicicle, if you will.
Hmm.
Yeah.
perhaps you should cuddle. You could cuddle for warmth with one of your friends.
Yeah. I probably will.
I can
Neither
always
of them.
make the hut.
This is true. We could make a hut. I could acquire some branches.
Oh no, I meant magically.
That could work too.
Yeah. It's nice and warm.
Is it
But
is it tradition
we're
that
good
they
for
don't
now.
no one interferes with this mating?
It's a contest.
Oh.
I think, and if you interfere in a contest,
Yeah, okay.
it's not
Neither
the
of
best.
them. Neither of them can speak. If you interrupt, that would either count as a loss, or I
It
wouldn't
would
know.
turn into a new argument.
Then again, they might turn
Yeah.
their attention on you. I would not suggest it, Vistra. You are strong, but there are two of them.
Yes. No, I was
Yeah.
just thinking of taking off my furs and weapons and sitting down like in the middle between the two of them. But
If you want to
sounded
take
like
off your
not a
clothes
good
and sit
idea.
in the cold, you are welcome to. But
I wouldn't.
it's okay.
I think
don't
let's
think
just
they'll
leave
help.
them to do this, and
Yeah, let's leave it.
we'll talk when we need to talk.
Do you guys want me to make the dome so we're not out in the cold?
You don't have to yet. Like, save your strength on it.
Let's give it a
I
bit.
mean, it takes. I was going to say it only takes 10 minutes to
That's true.
cast. It doesn't cost me any extra magic.
Oh, okay. Well, up to you.
Whatever you guys want. I know it's a little bit chilly, but I'm willing to just hang out for a little bit, and then we can make it at night.
Yeah, I think that's probably fine.
Yeah. Could we get a fire going? Would that be rude?
Let me check what spells I decided to take.
Oh,
for
I just
today,
meant we
'cause I
go find
didn't-
some branches and rub two sticks together, old fashioned like.
Well, let's see. If
Maybe
you
magic.
can, I was going to say if you can find some sticks, I can just firebolt.
Yeah, I could probably do that.
If
I
you
will-
want to do that, then we can create a fire.
Vistra, I know a place nearby where there are some trees. They're pretty sparse, but I'll show you which direction. Come with me.
Sweet.
Harrod will lead you to the edge, and just to let you know, the top of this mountain is about 50 feet across. It's kind of a rough circle, with multiple paths going off of all sides, kind of into the rest of the spine of the world. And as he leads you to the edge of the western side, he'll say, if you look over there, kind of to the north, you can see that there are, and at that, there is going to be a splash of blood that hits your face. And as you turn to look at him, you will see that a javelin is sticking out of his shoulder. And on the mountainside up, you will see that there must be 12 of these climbing, half-naked, humanoid creatures, each of them wielding a weapon that is tinged with glassy black crystal. They look at you with hollow eyes, and
roar. All of you are going to be able to hear this echo up all around the mountainside. And can I get an initiative roll off of everybody?
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. That's
All
gonna
right.
be 19.
Oh,
23.
okay,
Not
so-
20.
God, put them in the chat.
24. Sorry.
Oh,
What you
mine
got?
is absolute crapola.
All
This was
right.
just too in shock.
So I think we're going to use... This is the... Actually, no, that's an awful song. That's a city song. We'll not use that one. Let's use an old classic or...
So how far away are they? This
they're about
mountainside?
30 foot down the mountainside on this side.
Okay.
They have a fantastic surprise.
I don't like the way that sounds, Kelly.
No, no
I
surprise.
love
no,
the way that it sounds. What are you talking about? Okay.
no surprise.
I
no
don't
surprise.
really enjoy that wording either.
Fuck that shit, man.
Okay. They surge up the side of the mountainside, their hollow eyes and screaming, bloodied teeth gnashing at you. And let's start with top of the initiative. Everybody put it in the chat. So what I have is a bunch of spells. Let's see. I have 23, so... Cat. Callie. Lysithian, you put it in there too? Okay.
Yep, 19.
Volume's okay for the music?
Yep.
Okay.
I have epic music playing in my own head. Just random
Just
music
for your-
that I'm playing
Yeah, I just realized that I didn't have my
from memory.
roll 20 up at full volume either. It was right at the top end of good for me at 75%. So
Okay. I've turned it down a tiny bit. Chat, let me know if it's a little too loud, because fights music tend to be. All right. So, the beginning of the first round, you are going to hear the sound of blood being spilled behind you, Kat, and you are going to see that Hagen is going to take a step back with a javelin jutting out of his chest. It looks more like, honestly, a large arrow against that massive chest of his, but he's going to stumble back and reach for his great axe. What do you do?
okay, so he doesn't look like that's gonna like
It does
affect
not
him.
look pleasant.
It doesn't look pleasant. Okay. Well, he is not he. She is going to like run up to the edge of this, look down and be like, "Holy crap." Okay.
Down the precipice, you are going to see a dozen of these, what looks like formerly ragged tribes people. Their flesh frostbitten and clinging to their skin, but still whole and flush with blood somehow, climbing up the mountainside with bare hands, like spiders.
This doesn't seem like the kind of creature that a psychic spell might have the biggest effect on.
Maybe.
Yeah, she's gonna try it because it's her biggest damage dealer.
Okay.
She's gonna she's gonna pull her crossbow out anyways, because yeah, and she's gonna kind of look down, kind of look like she's praying almost, and she's just gonna whisper, "It's time for you to run."
Okay, what's my
And
save here?
It is a wisdom save.
I got an out one.
You got that? That's a failure.
That is probably a failure. I would hope-
Okay, so let me just calculate this real quick. So that's 3 for level 1. I'm not gonna cast this thing. Okay, so that's that. All right, so let's go with, that's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That is 14 psychic damage.
Okay.
and must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far away as speed allows.
All right, so the first one that's climbing up is going to shriek, "Ah!" and is going to just drop off the mountainside and start sliding down it.
And before her turn is over, she's going to she's going to turn to Callie and be like, "Hey, Callie, I think it's time for you to have some fun. Go
All right.
have yourself some fun." And take a D8.
Noted.
All right, so get your Bardic Inspiration D8. Callie, you're up. What do you do?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to make a dex save. Okay, the one that screeches and lets go of the side of the mountain is going to try to slide down and fail and is going to be buffeted off a 200-foot drop.
Oh.
She screams as she falls to her death. Good job using Psychic on someone climbing a mountain.
Fair and a good, a good point.
Yep.
Okay, so how far away are these from me?
They are about 25 feet now over the side of the mountain, climbing up along old handholds. They're moving with preternatural speed.
Question.
Yes.
Technically, Flaming Spear is supposed to be on the ground.
You can start it at the top of the ground.
Okay.
This part of the mountain is a slope. What I'll do is every round...
Are they wearing metal? Are they wearing armor?
They are... Let me double check. Are they wearing armor? They're not wearing... They're mostly naked. They're wearing hide. Although... Oh, you know what? They're actually not no, but several of them are clutching javelins in their hands made of shards of Chardalian.
Okay.
Which is not... Does it count as metal? Because it's crystalline. One sec. Let me just check the beginning of the book for Chardalian.
I would imagine it'd be in the same vein as obsidian, which
it is not though. Chardalian is weird. Chardalian is weird.
Chardalian sure is weird in D&D.
Well, I'm also pronouncing it wrong, but it's better than it's supposed to be pronounced. So I like Chardalian better.
Me too.
It just sounds better.
Right. Before anybody says anything. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
It's our world. We get to say things how we want to say.
Stream cold, avalanches, illumination, fishing. There's actually a fishing section.
Amazing.
Yes.
I guess otherwise then, does this look like a very avalanche prone area? Would this be a bad place to set something like that off?
Not up this high. It probably wouldn't affect them because it's a little too sheer for the snow to grab hold.
No. I mean more like, would the avalanche? If an avalanche
It wouldn't
occurred
hurt you.
because I set off something, would it hurt us?
No,
Okay.
you're too high up.
I would like to hit them with Thunder Wave because if I'm successful, it pushes them 10 feet away from me,
Okay.
potentially off the side of the mountain.
Potentially off the side. That's going to cause some complications. All right.
I'm gonna run up to the edge
Okay.
and cast it because it's a 15-foot cube.
Okay. Sounds
That
good.
should just hit them.
Okay. So that will hit. So 15 foot. That'll hit 3 of them.
Yeah, so it's a wave of thunder.
What's my save?
Con saving throw.
Okay. Oh my god.
Actually, where is my
Okay.
save?
One of them succeeds,
Okay.
and the other ones I don't
The spell
believe.
save is 15.
One of them succeeds.
Okay.
One of them you do double damage to,
Sweet.
which is my house rule, guys.
Okay, so the one that saved takes half damage,
Okay.
and it's 2d8.
Actually, don't worry about
The ones who fail are pushed 10 feet away.
Okay, so I'll just say that one has I won't give you double damage. I'll give him disadvantage on his roll to not flip. And that is 2 nat 1s
So it's 10 damage.
on disadvantage.
Damn.
Wow.
So the guy that succeeded gets 5 damage, thunder
Okay.
damage.
All right, so that's going to be, was that 5? And the other one was 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so your
So it
thunder,
emits a thunderous boom.
the thunderous boom erupts out of your fingertips and strikes into 3 of them. One of them is going to be blasted off the side of the mountain and is going to just fall
heedlessly into his death. You will see him tumble down, and that crushing sensation strikes into your bones as you watch him flatten against the side of the hill. Or, pardon me, against the side of the stone. And then the ragdoll body falls another 1,000 feet into the darkness below.
Necessary but gross.
Okay. All right, so for those of you who are up there still, cool. Lysithian, you are up. What do you do?
I would like to get within range, and I would like to cast Fireball.
All right. So,
I really want
Fireball
to. Actually, yeah, no, Fireball.
Okay,
It
sounds good.
is a 20-foot radius.
All right, so that'll be able to hit 4 of them because they are bunched up pretty close on this side of the mountain.
Yep.
This side of the mountain.
Wait a minute.
It's a dex save of 15.
All right.
Are any of you guys within range, by the way?
Where are you? How close are they?
I'm right on the
I'm
edge
at
of the
edge
mountain
of the
right now.
mountain.
Oh,
Edge of
okay,
the mountain.
cool.
You can
Ooh,
always, Lysithian, you can run to the edge and shoot down.
Yeah, because they're not.
Yeah, that's
cool.
what I did.
They're basically
I'm gonna
on
do
like a
that.
very, yeah, you totally can.
Cool. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run to the very edge and shoot down. They need to make a dex save of 15.
I have 2 and 2.
2 fails, 2 saves.
2 fails, 2 saves.
All right, let's heckin' do this. I don't have enough d8s for this, so I'm just gonna roll it on D&D Beyond.
That's fair. You can also roll it on, Google has a dice roller that's not half bad.
That's true. I only have 2 d6s. Actually, no. I'm just gonna do this 3 times. Hold on.
Sounds good?
Actually, no. It's 8. I'll do it 4 times 12, and then I'll just add it together. Okay, so that's.
Okay. So I need so many d6s.
7.
So while Lysithian is rolling their dice, how is this mountain looking? Like I could traverse down it or no?
You would have disadvantage on everything you were doing.
Okay, cool.
But
I
they're
just
gonna
wanted to know that.
they're
since
gonna
I'm
be
up.
up at the end of the round.
Gonna be
Oh,
28
okay.
points of damage.
20?
28.
28. Beautiful. Okay, so that is.
Been wanting to
let's-
cast that so bad.
Okay, so 28 turns
Did you
into.
ask how big the room was though?
I don't fucking care.
Okay.
I'm just going to, like, the stupidest, kind of crazed look on Lysithian's face, just like, I've been wanting to try this spell, and I'll just kind of wave my hands and just throw this mote of fire down the side of the mountain and have it just fucking explode.
Okay,
as
so
it hits them.
your fireball zips down the side of the mountain. All of you will be shaken for a moment as the mountain, like, trembles under the force of your magic, Lysithian. The fireball erupts in a perfect sphere of death, and 3 of these berserkers are going to scream and start climbing higher, their flesh ablaze, but one of them is going to shriek and try to put her face out as it melts, and is going to tumble into the blackness. But this time, you'll be able to see her fall all the way down, for she's still light as she strikes the jagged rocks below. A candle of melted flesh. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, so that means that on this side, I am down 4 of them already. All right.
Out of what,
Don't
12?
like the this side part.
Okay, so on a 1, okay, sounds good. So 1, 2, 2 of them do nothing.
When we convinced the Goliaths not to bring that many people.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
That was
All right.
real good of us.
They begin surging over the edge, although 2 of them you will see grab the side of the mountain, one of them still alit, and will start smacking himself in the face, screaming in common, you think? But it's so high pitched. I serve her, I serve her, I serve her, I serve her, I serve her! And the others surge over the edge. Lysithian, you are in the front, and so is Vistra, and so is Callie. So I am going to, let's see, I get to come up there. So.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, Lysithian, one of them surges over the edge and whips out a flail made of Chardalian. It whips around your head and comes down toward your hip. You will dodge out of the way. The second time, it wings toward you. The third time is going to be headed directly at your center mass. What is your armor class?
On the wrong page. It's going to be. Give me 2 seconds. It is 13, but I'm going to reaction shield.
Okay, that raises it to...
That raises it to 16.
Okay, it is going to shatter your shield and graze your chest, doing 0 damage.
Oh, thank fuck.
Your shield saved your life that time. This thing looks heavy. Callie, one of them surges over. She grabs a similar flail, a hunk of chardalian that's been carved into a spiked ball that she brings down. What is your armor class, my friend?
17.
17. The first one smashes into the side of the mountain next to you. One of the spikes of Tertullian splinters off. She roars, "You will not take care from me!" Grabs the haft of the flail, wings it around, swings it directly in front of your face. You said 17?
Yep.
Okay, it is going to scratch alongside the side of your face. You are going to take 11 points of bludgeoning damage from that. And I need you to make me a con save.
Okay, 1 sec.
And as you are reeling back, she's going to swing it around again and catch you in the arm for another 11 bludgeoning.
$22.
22. All right. So you are going to feel the little bit of your chin that was smashed open is stinging. It doesn't feel good. You're getting a sense there's something wrong with these weapons, obviously. So you took, I believe, 22 points of bludgeoning damage this round.
Yep.
Another one of them surges upwards, looks at Vistra and your war paint on, and you can see a moment of recollection in his eyes. He's dressed as a stripped-down, ragged tribesman. Some blood. And he is going to charge you, wielding a javelin in his hand. He surges forward, stabs the javelin once at your face with a 20. That is a hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
With a 23, that is a hit. And with
Ouch.
a 23, that is a hit.
Ouch.
Oh!
Ouchies. Ouchie nose.
Okay, so that is going to be 19 points of damage as he rushes forward and stabs his javelin into your chest, side and arm, pulling a bit of... Is Robin frozen?
Yep.
Oh no!
I stabbed her so much she froze.
Ah!
Okay, Robin, I need you to make me a Constitution save with advantage.
Oh, is she gone completely now?
Is she gone? We'll wait till she logs back in.
No!
Okay, so she is stunned by that.
When your 20 hit zoom instead of the character.
It's true. Okay, the others are going to surge up. Let me just check for Hagen's stats to see if he is going to be okay. Goliath Warrior, I have an AC of...
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We
I can hear you.
now.
Can you hear me?
I'm still frozen. I can hear you. I heard you just about to say con save. I think.
Make me a con save with advantage.
Advantage. I'm still frozen. Zoom is gone white and saying not responding, but I'm going to take audio. That's a nat 20 on that con
Okay, cool.
save,
You
so
are
24.
totally fine, minus all that damage that you took. Okay. There are going to be a couple more attacks. One of them is going to pull out and slam into Hagen 3 times with a similar flail. Hagen is going to take it like a champ. But
Which one's Hagen?
Hagen is the husband.
Wasn't that Herod?
Oh, yes, Herod. I don't know why I went to Hagen. That was my bad. It's because there's a frozen person, and I'm scattered. So,
I'm
Herod is...
sorry.
That's okay. Herod is going to take 3 strikes of this hard in the chest. And as he pulls back, he reaches for the javelin sticking out of his chest. There are more of them. And as he says that, he's going to start trembling. And you can see that the wounds from this weapon on the side of his flesh are turning putrid green. Another one of them rushes over the side of the mountain and launches a series of javelins in the direction of Katarina.
No, not Katarina.
Katarina, one of them whooshes by your face, but the second doesn't. I have a 17.
Oh, that's a hit.
Okay, so that is going to deal... that's going to be 8 points of damage. Give me a con save.
Coming right up. Just calculating the damage real quick. Okay, cool. Con save coming up.
All right, I might have to restart Zoom because it's just not responding.
Okay. Go ahead, restart Zoom, and call back in, okay?
That's a 16 for con.
16 for con.
Yeah, is that good enough?
That is good enough.
Oh, thank Christ.
All right, and hopefully Vistor will hang out here in spirit long enough for us to unghost it. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've still got 2 more people. One of them is going to surge over the edge as well, and no, actually, you know what? Those last 2 people would have been slightly too far, so they are going to reach the top and just be able to. I can throw a javelin. Okay, so Lysithian, you are red. Callie, you are blue. Lysithian, 2 javelins fly past your face. Callie, one of them flies past you. You're going to duck, and you are not going to be able to duck under the other one, which is going to strike you for 5 points of damage, and I need another con save as the javelin grazes your hip. And we're slightly out of focus. We'll be back in a second, guys.
That's going to be 22.
22, you are fine. So, just one moment. Just one moment. We need a technical difficulty screen.
Make one.
I know, I'm just lazy.
Dude, fucking same.
Lazy as I'm running like 9 games.
Yeah.
I'm lazy yet not.
I'm
Like,
I don't know how you do it, man. I run 1. I'm like, that's enough.
I spent 20 minutes yesterday trying to
I'm
get
also a busy bitch.
the best
That's true.
little like capture of the goose in Untitled Goose Game
That's true.
on like so I could make a loading screen with it.
It's fair. All right,
I need
come
to play
on
that game.
back, Robin.
I don't know how I did that last night, but I did. It's not built yet, but I have the footage to do it with.
Oh man, this is intense.
I'm so into it.
Oh,
Okay, come on.
I'm like-
come on.
I love magic. I love getting to use magic in battles. I'm like, oh,
It's so good. You got to be strategic.
God, whew, I love it. Also, Lysithian just has such a fight boner, man. Like they're like, yes, let me do my magic, please.
Okay, so you were there,
Yeah.
you were there.
I love.
yeah, you can just tell they're just like, oh my god, I get to blow people up with magic.
It's literally just, oh my god, I get to cast magic, and that's it.
Okay, come on, Robin.
Like while we're, I want to post. I'm not looking at the chat because I don't look at
Sure.
chat, but also I am on shitternet, so
That's
I
true.
don't want to risk it. I was thinking because Rime is such a character-focused game,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it might be fun to take questions from chat, have like a form or something, or like
Okay.
just take questions from chat. We could do like an AMA day or something where they can ask the characters questions. We could do it as videos for YouTube,
Oh,
or
that'd
we
be cool.
could just do like an AMA
Yeah,
on
that'd be
here. Like I've done that before. Where you
Robin's
do like an
computer
AMA.
went black. She's having
Yeah.
to restart.
No.
It crashed so hard that it.
Oh,
All right, guys.
no.
So
She
tell
got
you
black
what.
screen.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna be right back. Okay.
No, you're fine.
Woo!
I was getting ready to go finally
Alright.
too with my 6 initiative. I was like, okay, I'm finally ready to start doing something.
I know.
All right. Okay, so that happens,
happened?
and the other one is going to climb up there, and that is going to be the end of the round. Vistra, the Goliaths, who are also on the mountain, are going to turn and yell, and the 3 Goliaths who are up there are going to rush to the other side of the mountain, where you can hear that there apparently are a few more of these guys coming up.
Cool.
But Vistra, you're on this side of the mountain. What do you do?
So how many people are up there?
You
Still?
can see that there are still
I think you said 4.
4 what?
I thought you said there are still 4 left on this side.
No, there's still like 8 left on this side, dude.
Okay, cool. Well, Robin is
there are
real pissed in real life.
That's there.
At her computer.
There are 6 of these that are clinging to. They're clinging to this. Pardon me. There are 6 of them that have climbed up on the side of the mountain and are wailing at your friends, and there are a couple who are just on the edge.
Cool. I'm gonna go after the one. I will go. Did anyone, while I was gone, did anyone get hit? Like bad?
We didn't do
Callie,
anything while you were
Callie
gone.
got skewered.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to attack. I'm gonna rage.
Okay, that sounds good.
Big shocker. And I would like to recklessly attack the closest thing with my great axe twice.
Okay, you may.
Because I am pissed at my life right now.
All right, this is the one that slammed a flail into the side of Lysithian. How many attacks do you get? You get 2 now, right?
I get 2.
Okay, go ahead. Make me 2 attacks with
So the
advantage.
first one is 23.
23 is an absolute hit.
And the second is a 27.
That is an absolute hit. Roll me damage on both, please.
Alrighty, plus my rage.
Oh, that's right. Because 3 of them were just clinging to the side of the mountain, screaming at themselves.
Yes, exactly.
It's like what I do on a daily basis.
Exactly. Alright, so that's not gonna be as nice. So 11 for the first attack.
Okay.
Let's roll on the dice tray, thank you.
Okay.
Really? A 1? Oh, I have a shitty.
Come on. What do we got?
That's just gonna be a 7. So 11 and a 7.
And you're adding your rage bonuses?
Yeah. Correct, Amando, sir. Those are worth
Okay,
the bonuses.
11 and 7, so 18 points of damage. All right, rushing forward, you're going to smash your newly hafted axe into the first one, cutting into his bone and flesh, and he is going to turn and glare at you through broken, brittle, sharpened teeth. Katarina, you are up.
All right. Well, I'm going to start off by, I guess one of the ones that I'm gonna run up to Herod, and actually I'm gonna slap him with a cure wounds.
Okay, sounds fantastic, actually. So roll me that.
Because yeah, he could probably use it.
And actually, he needs to take his round. You can see him kind of pushing back against the one that's attacking him and defending himself, but that's all he's doing.
So he's going to take 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points of healing.
All right.
And then with that's another second level slot expended. Only have one of those left. That's great. And then with that, she's going to turn to Lysithian and be like, "Hey, Lysithian, bring them all down!"
All right.
D8.
There's that D8. To you, Callie, you are up.
Okay. How many are up here? Like within
Up
a
on the-
60-foot radius, so 120-foot circle.
That you can see on this side, there are still 4 are down. There are still, pardon me. So there are still 8 remaining, either on top of the mountain or clinging to its side within that range.
Okay. Are any of them in like a 5-foot around each other, like in a 5-foot
Yes.
square sort of thing?
Yes.
Sweet. Call lightning.
Okay. So what do I have to do? These are the ones that are engaged in melee combat with all of you.
Deck saves.
Okay. So that is going to be 4 of them. We're up in the middle of melee combat with you guys.
Okay. Were any of them kind of on like the diagonal between so I'm targeting a point and all the 5-foot squares around them. So say
Can you
I'm
exclude
targeting
people?
Sorry?
Can you exclude people, or is it all or nothing? Can you
No, it's
exclude
all or
friends?
nothing.
Okay,
No.
so without striking your friends, you can target 3 of them.
Okay, I'll do that. So this creates a 120-foot diameter.
Roll me damage. Holy crap!
Come on.
I rolled 774.
Almost max. Okay, I don't
All
add
right.
anything to this.
Bring it.
I don't think. No. Can
Nope.
I add my bardic inspiration to the damage?
No, you may not.
Damn.
Sorry, Mike didn't take that school.
18.
18 damage. Okay.
Yeah. 18 lightning. Actually, no, 28. Sorry, 28.
Okay. Your lightning is going to strike one of them, and you are going to see his skeleton illuminated through his flesh as he melts down. His weapons kind of smoldering and boiling into his exposed flesh as he drops to the ground dead. 28.
So this is a 10-foot tall cylinder that is 60-foot radius. Appears 100 feet above us.
Okay.
Of cloud. Just swirling dark cloud.
Jesus.
Another one strikes down, and 2 of them are struck heartily, but manage to maintain their composure and battle lust as they are burned horribly. Do they suffer any other side effects? Or just massive damage?
Creature takes 3d10 on a failed or half as much damage as a successful.
And this is a concentration
no.
spell, right?
It is a concentration. So
you
on
can
each
keep
of my
doing this,
turns afterwards, I can keep doing this and hitting
Okay.
different spots.
Lysithian, you are up. There are 3 of them on top of the mountain. 3 of them...
So actually, I'm going to use my movement to get away from them.
Sure, that sounds good. That is
So
going
hopefully
to...
I won't get hit.
Okay, so that does provoke.
Okay.
That is going to be a hit.
Damn it. Okay.
You are going to get struck for 9 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, pardon me, 7 points
Okay.
of bludgeoning damage
And it was
by a flail in the back.
10 or half, right?
Yes.
For con saves. Okay, well, I managed to roll a 10, so...
You're fine. Make me a Constitution save for something else.
18.
18. Okay. As you turn and hurry away, as you call down the lightning, one of the ones that you struck is going to lash out with his flail, catching you in the back for those 7 points of damage, and you are going to make it away. Now, just to explain this part of the battlefield, what you have is a large circle here. 3 of them are still up on top of the mountain, with 2 that had just reached the edge and thrown javelins. 3, 2, it's 5 down. Yeah. And several others, 3 others below, clinging to the side of the mountain, screaming at themselves.
I resonate with that so much.
You resonate with that so
Right?
much?
I feel that.
Okay, 3 up, 3 scream, 2 hold. And Lysithian, you are up.
I'm going to pull out of my components pouch to start kind of molding things in my hands with something,
Okay.
and I'm going to push it back into my pouch, and I'm going to instead cast Scorching Ray. And there's
Okay.
3 up, right?
Actually, I was just redoing the math, and according to what I said, there should only be 2 up. So there are
All
2
right.
up, but there are also 2 who just climbed up and are holding onto the edge of the mountain. So total of 4
Cool.
in sight.
I'm going to cast Scorching Ray and aim for the 2 on the top and 1 that is climbing up.
Okay, sounds good.
So
The
these are
2
my
that are up, you
3
can roll
rolls.
with advantage on the 2 that are pardon me, that are already
So
on top.
first one with advantage is going to be 23 to hit on the first one.
That is absolutely a hit.
Okay. It's going to be 23 on the second one as well.
That is absolutely a hit.
And then that's going to be 17 on the last one.
That is an absolute hit. Roll me damage.
Cool. I'm going to roll you that damage. So, for the first one... So, for the first one, it's going to be half damage on the first one.
Okay.
And then the second one is going to take 7.
Okay.
And the third one is going to take 7.
Nice. 3 bolts of fire rip out of your hand, streaking across the air and slam into these raging creatures of destruction. Their flesh sizzles and bubbles as it burns in them, and they shriek at you with all manner of malice and insanity. Their Chardalian glistening in the noonday sun. 1, 2, so I've got 8 of them still kind of on their feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We will say one of the ones that you strike on top of the mountain, the one that was holding a flail and struck Callie, is going to start scratching and clawing at his melted skin, peeling it away from his ribs as he roars and roars in broken, guttural common. She is my protector. She is my savior. She is my protector. She is my savior. 2 more are going to start screaming and crying, and that is their actions. Boop, boop, and boop. I love people that are so insane you actually have to roll to see if they act.
Is that why there's 3 on the side screaming at themselves?
Well, those guys are climbing up right now. One of them is going to come to his senses, climb up, and is going to reach and hurl his javelins at at Katarina, because I heard you say some mean things. 3 javelins launch by your face. You're feeling pretty good about yourself, Katarina, until that third one strikes you for 7 points of damage.
Oh no!
And I need you to make me a con save. All right,
Con save coming up.
Another one rushes over the side, and who is the closest? Vistra, you are the closest. Vistra, I'm going to reckless attack you.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so that is... what is your armor class? I have a 17.
That's gonna hit. I have a 16.
Okay, so that's going to be 2 hits.
Ouch.
And I just threw my D8 on the floor like a moron. Okay, cool.
Good job.
And then I'm gonna use my inspiration on my con save.
Sounds good. Okay. Vistra. This one is going to rush forward, swinging his flail. He is going to smash into you for 6, 11, 17 points of damage, which reduces because of your rage down to 8.
Yes.
And I need you to make me a Constitution save.
Okay.
I got a 14 on mine.
Okay, you are fine.
Oh, thank God.
You have advantage on the
okay,
con
so
save.
19.
You are fine. The one that you were contending catches his footing and roars at you. And that is going to be a 23 to hit. That is going to be a 12 to hit.
That's not gonna hit.
And a 17.
That'll hit too.
All right, Vistra, you are going to do me the honor of taking another 8 points of damage.
Oh.
Combined, as you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage between the 2 blows, as you are struck from 2 sides by giant flails of Chardalian. Okay, that's 2 up. Who have attacked you? 1 holder that attacked, and there's 1 more holder that can attack. Okay.
Do I need to make a con save on
You
that
will
as
need to make
well?
another con save with advantage.
Okay.
The one that is directly next to Lysithian is going to reach forward and grab a javelin out of her pack, and screaming is going to chase Lysithian down and try to skewer them.
13 AC.
Okay, so that is 1 hit and 1 miss.
Reaction.
Okay,
Shield.
if you want to. All right. So that
I'm squishy.
okay.
That
so
makes
it's
my
good.
AC actually 18. I read that
I
wrong.
thought it was a little
makes
low.
my AC 18.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
I was thinking about mage armor.
All right, so you are going to have a javelin thrust at your face 3 times. 1 comes within a hair's breadth of your nose before the shield raises, and it is going to just buffet the point of the blade away. It is going to turn around. You are going to take 1 1 javelin stab instead of 3, though.
Okay.
So good job. That is going to be 7 points of damage, and I need you to make me a
For
con
me,
save.
that's okay.
Yeah, honestly,
okay.
that's not terribly. And
For
that,
me, that's fine.
that is the end of my turns.
I botched. That's a 1.
That's a 1. Okay, you are poisoned next round.
Yay! I love that for me.
Honestly, it could be worse. So poisoned means that you have a disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Mm-hmm.
But just
I
use
put the
something
poison.
like a fireball that doesn't have an attack roll and you're fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's cheating. That fireball is free real estate. Okay, with that, it is going to be the Goliath's turn, who acts slightly before Robin. Robin,
Yes.
so you are reckless attacking. These guys are reckless attacking too, so it doesn't make sense for him to help you in that regard. So what he's going to do is, Herod is going to come up from behind, grabbing his great axe, and is going to slam it down into the nearest one. That is going to be 2 hits, actually, thanks to their reckless attacking.
Reckless.
And that is going to be... Actually, he's going to bring his great axe down, and the one that was slamming into you... actually, the one that is clawing his flesh open that Lysithian struck with fire is going to scream in Lysithian's face as one of his friends stabs at them with a spear, and then his head's going to hit the ground. Because you got his hit points real low. Beaut. Okay, now it's Robin. What are you doing?
I'ma hit things with my axe.
Okay, there are 2 that are just screaming, 2 that are up. Well, actually, there are 4 that are up now because they managed to climb up, but 2 screamers.
Cool. I'll go after the non-screamers.
Okay, one of them, actually 2 of them are fighting you with a flail right now. You'll have advantage on both of them.
Without me... Oh, because they're
reckless attacking.
Ha ha!
Ding,
Sweet,
ding,
I
ding.
won't recklessly attack them then. I'll just rage attack.
Just rage attack. It's better.
That's gonna be a 22 for the first one.
That's a hit.
Oh, and that's gonna be a... Ooh, this might be actually potentially not hit. Because I rolled a 2 and a 6, so then that's a 14.
That's a
Yeah,
hit.
14. Oh, it's hit, sweet.
Okay. All right, roll me damage.
That's a better roll there.
How bad is bad?
Oh, and that's an even better roll. So 17 plus 18. That's my damage.
17 plus 18. Can you do the math? Or do I have to do the math? Because that's 35.
I can do the what? Yeah, you did the math. Thank
Okay,
you.
you
My
are
brain's
going-
fried from Zoom.
What part of this person's body do you kill them by? Do you kill them via axe with? That was not English.
I
I am
kill
also
via
fried.
axe. I think I take how did you say it? Harden? Harden?
Herod.
Herod.
Herod, thank you. I had it somewhere. Herod, I think I'm gonna follow his lead and I'm gonna just decapitate the old head off the mountainside.
All right, the head is going to roll off the mountainside and strike one of the ones that had just climbed up as it rolls. Yes. And he's going to keep screaming. Actually, the one that's screaming is going to grab the head before it can roll off the mountainside and start screaming into it while headbutting it.
Oh my god, I love it.
And good job. That's a dead one. Okay.
That's a dead one.
So that means that there are 3 up, and it is Katarina's turn. Katarina, there are 2 screaming at themselves, and 3 that are still up.
Okay. Are any of these ones hurt?
Yes, one of them is fairly wounded. Lysithian struck them with a bolt of fire.
Okay, cool. I lost track, so.
I know. We're not using we're using Theater of the Mind because I didn't throw a map together for this.
All right. So
It's the truth.
What she's gonna do here is she's gonna look at that thing, look at the one screaming into its comrade's head and headbutting it. I'm imagining like Mad Max kind of stuff going on. Right
These
there.
guys are definitely like, here's what they look like. Story time.
Oh, I'm imagining some shiny and chrome to Valhalla going on there.
Yeah.
Shiny and
witness
clone
me.
to Chardalian Hala.
Yeah. Witness me. Okay, so what she's gonna do, she's gonna be like, oh man, this is ridiculous. She's gonna yank the javelin out of her chest, throw it on the ground, and then bring her crossbow up like one-handed across, and then let a bolt fly at the wounded one.
Okay.
And that is going to be a.
You will have advantage on this because the wounded one attacked
yes, it's
recklessly.
Okay, first roll is better. That's gonna be 19 to hit.
19 is probably going to hit this one. Go ahead
Yep.
and roll me damage.
And that is an 8 plus that. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. 15 points of damage.
Your bolt is going to fly through as this one screams in a rage, clutching the side of its flail, and your bolt is going to punch right through its teeth and out the back of its face, ripping its jaw off, and it is going to keep screaming as its tongue lolls down onto its throat.
Oh man, I was hoping it would die.
It's pretty hurt. Like, it is... I would not give it one of Vistra's hits. Callie, you are up. What do you do?
Is any of them available to be hit by lightning without also hitting my friends?
Yes, there are 2 on the edge of the mountain you can try for.
I will hit them.
Okay, and they are close enough that if they mess this up... Okay, so I have a 14 and a 18.
18 manages, but you still take half.
Okay. Okay.
23 damage total.
23 damage. One of them is the one that Katarina just shot, and it is going to collapse to the ground in a smoking wreck.
And the other one takes half, so I guess 11, because I think it rounds down generally.
Okay, so that is going to be... Okay. All right, and now we are at Lysithian. Lysithian, there are 2 of them screaming at themselves and 2 of them that are up.
All right. Well,
What to do,
we're
friend?
going to. I'm going to. Let's see. Let me just double check this real fucking quick. Hold on.
Dominate.
I'm going to dominate monster. Don't got it right now.
Oh, no.
Oh no. Okay, so I'm going. Okay. What? I'm going to cast magic missile
Okay. Roll me damage.
at 2nd level. So it's going to be 4 of these wonderful darts. I just have to take off my gloves in order to roll this.
It's true.
Oh, because the D4s?
Because my D4s. So it's going to be 3, 6, 8, 10, 11 damage total.
11 damage.
Just to whichever one.
Okay. They are going to strike into the one that is the one that is remaining in the fight with Vista right now. 11 damage. It's going to be boop. All right. Striking into its back, it's going to roar into the sky, turn to you, and one moment, there are 4 of these guys left. And are you kidding me?
Oh no.
Are they
3
all
of
screaming
them
at
are
themselves?
going to start screaming and beating their chest and like licking and biting their chardalian as if it was a lover's back.
Oh my god, I love these things.
One of them,
Kinda gross.
it is kind of
Yeah.
gross. One of them is going to roar, grab his flail, and charge Katarina full on.
What? No!
Yep. However, Vistra, he is running through your square and
is
through
he now?
Lysithian's square, so both of you are going to get an opportunity attack.
Cool.
Kill 'em,
My
guys, kill 'em.
Opportunity attacks.
You have disadvantage because of your poison, but
Yeah, so I'm going to just try to hit him with my dagger.
you might as
So
well.
I'm just gonna.
Vistra, what'd you get?
I got a 16.
Not gonna
16
hit. That's
is
gonna
gonna-
be. Hold on.
That's going to be a hit, Vistra.
It's gonna be a 9.
9 is not going to hit. Oh, wait, he rerolled because he attacked recklessly last round. So
Oh,
you
should I
have
just roll
advantage.
straight? Should I just roll straight then because I have
Yeah, you
disadvantage?
should just roll straight.
That's even worse.
Ah,
Rolled a
that's a
2.
26, so.
26
I think
is
it
still a
super
good
hits.
hit. Roll me damage. So you will lash out as he rushes past you, dragging his flail behind him.
Do I add my raging bonus for this still?
You're still enraged, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that is a 19 damage.
19 damage. Oh, that's gonna hurt him nice and proper. You hear 4 of his ribs shatter and poke through the skin of his side as he roars forward.
At you,
Okay.
Katarina.
Katarina, I have a 14.
Nope.
I have an 18 and a 20.
Those two good hits.
All right, he rushes forward, shooting his flail out directly into your face. The first is going to... Actually, it's going to deal you a decent amount of damage. What I need you to do is take 12 points of bludgeoning damage and make me a con save. And Lysithian...
17.
17? Okay, you are okay. And Lysithian, you are no longer poisoned, by the way. It is a brief poison. Okay, and that's going to be their turn.
Didn't you say I got hit twice?
Yes, I gave you the damage for both.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Because you take it all at once, I just gave it to you at once. Okay.
That fair enough.
You know what? Herod is going to use his head. And the one that's screaming at himself, he's going to set his shoulder and bull rush using the shove action, and is going to shove this guy off the side of the mountain.
Excellent.
The guy is going to try to resist. He rolled a 10, which is respectable, but not as respectable as Herod's 26. With a scream, the guy will continue yelling at himself as he hurls off the side of the mountain. And it is Vistra's turn again. Vistra, there are 3 remaining, 2 screaming at themselves, 1 which is engaged in combat with your friend.
I think I'm gonna go help out my dear friend Katarina and finish off what I started.
All right, so rushing up behind, you have advantage. What do you do?
I'm gonna hit him with my great axe. Gonna go try and decapitate that one too.
All right, go ahead.
Do. So the first attack.
Everybody
is
used
going
all
to-
their nat 20s up before this fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
man.
much.
I
It was
used it
all
on
on
the
stupid
bear.
stuff.
Used on the beer.
Here.
23 to hit.
23 is a hit, yep. Okay, second one.
Oh, so close. It's an 18. Not quite a
That-
natural 20, but that's going to be a 26 to hit.
Okay, that's a hit. Roll me damage.
Do. Where did I put you? D12. There we are.
Check the floor. That's where all mine are.
Ow.
That's going to be a 12 for the first hit.
Okay.
And that's not as nice either. That's going to be an 11, so 23 total damage.
23. Okay. Slashing twice into the back, you will cut into his arm and leg, actually severing the left arm from where it hangs, and he's going to look back at you, raged and dumb, but still up. And Katarina, it's your turn. There's the one in your face holding a flail with one hand. His left arm flops limply to the top of the mountain next to him, and he grips the haft and looks like he's going to strike at you again.
How close is he to the edge of the mountain?
How close are you? Because you ran back toward the center.
No, I didn't.
I did.
Did you shoot into melee combat with a crossbow?
No, I shot into one of the guys who had just popped up
Okay.
near the edge.
Okay. Then,
I was figuring there was like a line of them.
Sort of, yeah. He is as far away from the edge as you are, so probably not
Okay.
terribly far.
Not terribly far. So I'm gonna take a page out of Herod's book because that was badass, and and Katarina wants to look like a badass in front of Goliaths.
Okay.
And so she is going to look at this guy and say to him, "It's time to learn how to fly, bitch," and give him a D8 negative bardic.
Okay.
And she is going to try and like Spartan boot him off the mountain.
He's not. I don't think you're not within 5 feet of the edge of the mountain yourself, are you?
I hadn't moved inwards at all from the edge.
Did you? Okay.
Because the first thing I did was go to the edge and get somebody right. They were still climbing.
Okay.
I mean, it's your rule if you want.
This is an opposed strength and athletics check. I don't know if this is something you might want to do.
I'm gonna try it.
Oh,
Because if it's a failure, it'll be fun still.
Okay, that sounds fine. Let's go ahead and do that. So go.
Bye, Katarina. Nice to
Bye,
see you off the
Jen.
side of the mountain.
That's kind of yep. Okay, let me just look up the roll for this. Boop, 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 boop. Combat, attack rolls, range, melee, opportunity, grappling, shoving. The target must be no more than one side. Nope, they're not larger than it is. Strength and athletics versus strength and athletics. Roll your d8.
Okay. The D8 is a 7.
Okay.
So you are a -7.
You know what? Okay, make me an attack roll, or make me your strength and athletics roll.
That is going to be a 19.
Okay. Okay.
What do you get?
Interesting. All right. So, bracing yourself. How do you do this?
Okay, so Vistra just came up right behind me to get this guy too, right?
Well, actually, Vistra is kind of like, I guess she's to your side then.
Yeah, probably, I guess then.
Okay, so Katarina's just gonna brace against Vistra as much as she can and just boot.
Okay. The guy is going to tumble off the edge. Let's see if he can catch himself. He's going to bounce a bit and is going to disappear over the edge. Good job. You actually managed. Okay.
Vistra's impressed. Vistra's like giving
Callie,
Katarina like
you are
the like
still
good
up?
job.
Okay. What's left?
There are 2 left. Both of them screaming at themselves.
Are they next to each other?
They are... I'll make a roll. Hold on. Sure.
Okay. Deck save, please, from both of them.
No, I would prefer not to. Oh God. Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
Max damage.
Okay, which is?
That's 30 points of lightning damage.
Okay, 30 points of lightning damage rocks down onto the edge of the mountainside where 2 of them are screaming and clutching at themselves. Lysithian, the air around you ionizes, and as bolts of lightning strike 2 on either side of you, one of which you just smashed with your magic missile. What do you do?
I'm going to, like, against one of these creatures, I'm going to just cast... How hurt does it look?
They both look pretty hurt. The one that you struck with magic missile looks much more hurt.
I'm just gonna hit it with firebolt, because fuck
Okay.
it. It's a good
Are you
cantrip.
upcasting? Or wait, you can't upcast.
It's a cantrip. It's a cantrip.
But it does scale with your level, so I think you're at 2d10 right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Am
you have
I
advantage.
5th level? Yeah, no, they're 6th. Yeah, so it'll be... There's one. Okay, and then with advantage. Okay, I'm gonna take that. It's gonna be 18 to hit.
18 to hit is going to hit. Roll me damage.
I love big bow. 13 damage.
13 damage. Fantastic. Your firebolt is going to strike him in the face, and he is going to scream. He's already screaming, which is pretty useful. He is going to scream as his eyes begin to melt. He is still up and screaming, but my god, he is an easy attack. Herod is going to take a step forward and attack twice with his axe, and is going to just finish what you started because you gave him a coup de grace, basically. You melted the guy's eyes. Okay, that means there is one more left on this side of the mountain. I have to roll to see if he can do anything. He can do something! He is right next to Lysithian. He is instead going to just randomly attack. Let's find out which one of your randomly attacks.
Come at me, bro.
Callie ran away. So he is going to rush up behind Vistra.
Come at me, bro.
Okay, Vistra, I think I will. So, Vistra, 1 for you, 2 for you, and is going to take a 5-foot step to the side and crank Katarina in the back of the head with a nat 20.
Oh my god!
Booyah!
Shit.
Okay, so, Vistra,
Yes.
you are going to take, that is going to be...
Oh my god, this is the second game in a row where I should,
14.
like, I could take...
that's going to be 20 points of bludgeoning damage, which turns into 10. Yeah, but people don't attack according to what your classes do.
I know, but I'm just saying.
So you
I'm
can't
the
think like
damage
that.
sponge. I'm the damage sponge.
But that's... why would they attack the thing that is absorbing their blows, dude?
Oh, I question my logic.
Okay, Katarina, I need you to do me a favor, and that is going to be... I need you to take... So, Vistra, you're going to take 10. Give me a con save with advantage. And Katarina, you are going to take 17 points of damage.
Oh. And a con save?
And a con save. With disadvantage.
16.
That's
for
definitely
my
why
con.
when playing squishy casters, you want to take at least one spell that lets you get the fuck out of there.
Yep.
Does a 16 pass me on my
It
con?
does pass, but that was with disadvantage?
That was with...
Okay.
My other one was a 19.
Okay, sounds good. So as you shove him off the edge, you're going to feel a moment of triumph, and then a flail is going to collide with the back of your skull.
Ow.
A spray of blood issues out, and Katarina is not your turn because it is Robin's turn. Robin, what does Vistra do? This thing is right next to you. We just hit your
I'm
friend.
gonna give him a fucking shove too.
Okay, go ahead. This is going to be a
Just
contested.
yeet him off the cliff.
I'm gonna yeet him.
Okay, make me a strength and athletics roll.
27.
27. Okay, let's see if I manage to grab on anything. You are going to shove him off, and he is going to fall at least 100 feet down the side of the mountain. All right, and with that, you can hear that there is a bit of drama happening on the other side, but with a couple of swings of the axe, the remaining Goliaths seem like they have it in short order.
Nice.
There's a bit of a breath, and a couple of the Goliaths from the other side rush over. There were not that many over there. Are you all right? The fighting looked fiercest here.
Oh, we had 12 of them over here.
Hallie's just gonna start cackling.
Oh, hell.
What were they?
I don't
weird
know.
tribesmen. They looked almost possessed.
They were going after the, not going after, but they would seem to be obsessed with the Shardalin.
Oh, man.
This is
They were-
ridiculous.
one of them was muttering about her, so I think
They said,
Ice
she is
bitch.
my protector, she is my savior.
maybe.
So,
This is ridiculous. Glancing down, you can
holy
see
fuck.
that they have a number of weapons on them. Throwing axes made of the stuff, flails, javelins.
Are there any swords?
I'm gonna
They're
pick up a throwing axe.
I'm
Sure.
gonna go
Huh.
loot through some of them after
Okay.
I do a Q wounds on myself.
okay. So you will manage to pick up. So you have a Chardalian throwing axe, Vistra.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
Replace my one that I lost.
It's true.
17.
There are no swords. These are mostly crude things that basically, like a tribal society without any metalworking would be able to make.
Oh, okay.
There is a longer one that one of them was holding. That's a spear.
You were breaking up with that.
There is
What was
one on the ground that looks like a spear of some kind.
I'll grab it.
Okay. As you do, you'll notice that the one clutching it, she was mostly burned alive by a combination of fire and lightning, but still, on the side of her hand, is a ring made of what looks like ice.
Can I Arcana it? Or Perception it?
It's kind of on her finger right now. But
Can I remove it from her finger and then
yeah,
pick it
sure,
up?
you can totally take it. Give me 1 second on something. I gotta look up what this thing does.
Okie dokie.
Boop, 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 boop.
So Callie's also gonna follow that thing and cast Cure Wounds on herself.
Okay, so you're all kind of clustered up, curing wounds. Lysithian, you're taking a breath as well?
yeah, I'm just gonna take a breather, but I
I'll
don't
take a
really
short
need
rest.
any healing for now.
I'll need a little healing. I'll take a short rest.
As you look at it, you slide it from this corpse's finger, Katarina. It's a tiny 6-pointed snowflake. The symbol of the Frostmaiden.
Ooh.
It vanishes from your fingertips. And you will hear on the breeze as snow begins to swirl around you. I am all that you are. Come to me, children of warmth, and feel the embrace of eternal cold. Snow whips around you in a sudden hurricane and blizzard. You lose track of where your allies are. You try to orient yourself, almost stepping off the edge of the mountain. All of you, the snow whips around. Even the Goliaths in the center of the mountain find themselves unable to keep their staring contest going as they look around, and in a moment, you're gone. And vanish to wherever the Frostmaiden has taken you.
What?
And we're going to call game there.
What do you mean? What? That's not okay.
That's okay. We'll find out where you guys end up next episode on Rime of the Frostmaiden.
Wait, did
That's
we all
not
go or just Mike?
We'll find out who goes at the beginning of next game.
That's not okay.
Butthole.
Everything is okay.
Damn it! I want to find out what happened with the Goliaths.
I know, me too.
All right, guys. So
we have bigger problems than Goliath, guys. Guys, we have bigger problems.
But they're my bae.
Everyone's your bae, Callie.
Yeah.
True.
Shut up.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for this extra long
This
episode
one's
of Rime of
a
the
particular
Frostmaiden.
bae.
That's true. Hope you guys had a good time with us. Be sure to tune in next Monday night to see what happened here. And there might be some surprises in store next Monday. It'll be good to see you there. Don't forget that we also have a couple of other games going on this week. There's Shards of Nirn every Wednesday, which hopefully you'll join us for, as well as some other games this weekend, like the return of Curse of Strahd and, the season finale of It's Always Magical in Vandalia, if I'm not mistaken.
So
Exciting.
so come and join us, okay? It'd be great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Good night, everybody.